What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Fantasy Endgame Live Edition. We're here live every single night to help you win in fantasy football. So we're going to talk mainly waiver wire trades, start, sit. Well, we're just going to talk everything fantasy football. How about that? You got questions, we're going to answer them. For a lot of leagues, this is your last chance to trade because trade deadlines in a lot of leagues defaulted this week. Some of you got another week or two. It really depends. But for some of you, this is just the time to make moves because it's pretty much the time where you know who's a contender and who's a pretender. And some of those people at the bottom of the standings just might not be checking in too much longer. Or is your last chance to make a deal with them before somebody else does? So you got questions. We're going to answer them. If you use the super chat feature, guarantee we will put your question up on the screen and we will definitely answer it. We'll stay on until we get to all of them, which was quite a long time last night. We were on for a while, but it's a good problem to have, isn't it?
Very good problem to have. Very, very good problem to have. Yes. I wouldn't even call it a problem.
No, definitely not a problem. We love doing this, and we want to help as many people out as possible. So we'll get to your questions. But first, let's talk NFL news. And some big news that kind of I guess it didn't come out of nowhere because we already knew that there was an injury here, but season-ending surgery for Deshaun Watson after he just played and actually finished the game and led the Browns to a comeback win. Just when Cleveland thought they had something to root for. I mean, I'm not a Browns fan, never have been, probably never will be. I almost, despite being a Dolphins fan, I almost feel bad for the Browns fan base.
Hey, look, the owner's wife, when they signed Deshaun, they were like, oh no, we were fine with it. We're fine having our daughters around this guy. It's fine. Hey, they made their bed, they're laying in it now. You dance with the devil. Sometimes the devil comes collecting. So it's been terrible for them since what have they gotten for him? So what they've gotten for their Deshaun Watson for the 3 first-round picks, the money they get with him. How many games did he even started? Like 10?
And in those games, how many has he actually been good? I mean,
right.
Only a couple.
Yeah, I don't feel bad for them. They made their bed. They got to live with it now.
Oh yeah, no, I don't. Nobody feels bad for him, of course. I don't think anybody feels too bad for the ownership of the franchise. I do kind of feel bad for the fans because they didn't ask for this and they don't deserve it. But
true.
That's just how it goes sometimes. So I think here's almost a bigger surprise to me is I assumed it's just back to PJ Walker, right? This is the team that is in the playoff hunt legitimately after last week. And no, they're going to the rookie. I mean, do you think that PJ Walker has just been that bad in real life, or you think they just want to give him a shot? Is this like a one-game audition again for Dorian Thompson-Robinson, or you think they just saw enough of Walker that are like, nah, he ain't it?
Yeah, I think they probably saw enough of Walker to be like, okay, he's not it. I don't know if Thompson-Robinson is it, but at least find out, right? Because remember last time, I don't think he really got like a full week with the starters last time. I don't know if it was a Thursday night game. I can't remember, but I feel like he didn't get a full week with the starters. Like it was kind of like last minute. Okay, you're playing. So give him a full week with the starters. Let him see what he can do. It'd be really funny. Actually, I think what would be really funny, but like in a good way, is if Thompson-Robinson ended up being awesome. And then next year they're going in like, well, we're paying Deshaun Watson all this money, but we have this rookie quarterback who looked awesome at the end of the year. Like maybe he like leads him to the playoffs, wins a playoff game. Like now all of a sudden it's like, well, now what do you do? I think that would be great. I would love to see that, honestly.
Yeah, that would definitely make things interesting because there's no way to be able to trade Watson. But yeah, I mean, I get giving him another shot because just one game sample. And like you said, he wasn't expecting to play, but I'm just surprised it's this week. Like you think this is a big game for them. This is a division game again. Am I right? For Cleveland, I mean, they just won. I figured they would just go back to the veteran. And then if he loses and has another bad game, okay, let's try something different. So I'm just surprised at the timing of it. But we'll see. So obvious fantasy fallout, not for Watson himself, because probably most people weren't starting or at least relying on him as a QB. Not just without Watson, but really with a rookie, again, making his second ever start. what does this mean for Amari Cooper? Like, how worried should you be?
I'm terrified now. I'm terrified. If it was PJ Walker, I'd still feel okay because we've seen Cooper have some nice games with PJ Walker. I wouldn't be too worried. I mean, when in that game with Thompson Robinson earlier, he had 6 targets and 1 catch, I think. 1 catch on 6 targets. Look, maybe it'll be okay. But I don't want to find out this week. I don't think I could start Amari Cooper this week. I mean, unless your options are really bad. If you're like, hey, my options are, Amari Cooper or, Trenton Irwin from the waiver wire or something. Okay, sure. I'll go Amari Cooper. But this week, if I can, I'd like to put Amari Cooper on the bench. Look, if he ends up being okay and still has another nice game with Dorian Thompson-Robinson, sure. Feel good about him going forward. Feel okay with him. But we've seen some rookie court like Tyson Bagent, what happened with DJ Moore, like it can get ugly. Or like the Giants offense, I don't think Thompson Robinson's that bad. But you know what I mean? It can get ugly. So I think this week at least, very nervous for Amari Cooper. So if possible, I would like to bench him.
Yeah, I totally agree there. And timing of this, I just come around saying, you know what? Okay, that's the guy I forgot. Remember, I said I did my little apology tour in the waiver wire video this week. Elijah Moore. I was like, hey, look, we're getting targeted again. Elijah Moore, maybe he'll show up and then no. Okay, so let's just retract all of that. Just ignore that part of the video where I say that you might consider picking up Elijah Moore. Didn't say he was a must-add. And I was just ready to go all in on this week on David Njoku. So when you see that come out,
well, wait. I am still all in on David Njoku.
Are you?
I might be more all in on David Njoku.
Okay, please explain.
Because you look at that, if you go back and look at that game with Dorian Thompson-Robinson, Amari Cooper, 6 targets, 1 catch. David Njoku, 7 targets, 6 catches, 46 yards in that game. And so I don't feel like this is a hit to David Njoku because number one, obviously Dorian Thompson-Robinson has no problem targeting him. And number two, they're easier throws, right? They're safety valve throws. They're shorter throws. They're over the middle throws. They're just easier throws. So I still really like David Njoku. I really like him this week. And I love David Njoku going forward. In fact, I love him so much. I put him on the buy low video because David Njoku has one of the best remaining tight end schedules and one of the best tight end playoff schedules. And I don't think it matters if it's Thompson Robinson, PJ Walker. Oh, it's not going to be Deshaun Watson. I don't think it matters. So I'm still in on David Njoku. Even this week, I think David Njoku is still a good start.
So you tell me all this after I just traded him to you. Is that what you're doing? You're telling me?
Well, in that league, I don't even care. I don't want David Njoku to be great.
Well, that's my own fault. I proposed it. But anyways, Njoku. But you're right. Look, we talk about this with rookie quarterbacks, inexperienced quarterbacks. That's their favorite target is the easy throw, the short throw, the one that doesn't risk an interception. At least the smart quarterbacks. And so, Njoku could be a nice safety valve. I still don't feel like his ceiling is nearly as high, but I guess we can't be out on him so much as a guy like maybe like Elijah Moore. We'll see. Maybe Elijah Moore, though. That the problem with the Moore is I think we'll see a lot of what we saw early in the season. He's going to get throws like 2-3 yards beyond the line of scrimmage or like at the line of scrimmage. So, he got 5 catches for like 18 yards, something.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I'm not in on Elijah Moore. Barely in on Cooper this week. But I do still like Njoku this week and going forward.
All right, then here's probably the trickiest part is what you make of the run game because you think, well, they'll run the ball more, but also it might not be as effective.
Yeah, I'm not really worried about the running game, to be honest, because I don't think teams like the running game's been good, whether it's Watson, whether it's been PJ Walker, like. This is just, I think you said it. I think you might have said it on one of the videos you said it, and I thought it was a great quote. You said, this offense just knows how to run the football. They're missing offensive, like last week I was like, oh, you can't start Jerome Ford. They're missing 3 offensive linemen. It's a tough matchup. He goes for over 100 yards because this team just knows how to run the football. They just do. Doesn't matter who the offensive line is. It doesn't matter who the quarterback is. They'll always be able to run the football, and it will always be what they do. And now they're probably just going to do it even more. They're just going to do it even more. And, So I'm not worried about the running game. I don't think Deshaun Watson opened up this running game or anything. I don't think, he hasn't even been good. The running game was fine with PJ Walker. I don't think the running game takes a hit for me. I kind of just view it exactly like I use. I don't think it gets a bump. I'm not saying like, oh, the running game is going to be even better. Like, no, it's probably just going to be the same, but I'm not worried about it. I think the one guy I'm really, really terrified right now of is Amari Cooper. That's the guy I'm very terrified for.
Yeah, it makes total sense. And he'll still have his big moments, but just don't know how many big games he'll have. But yeah, I mean, that's how I feel. It's not just kind of a universal thing with every team. Either you do or you don't know how to run. But there's some teams, not to take anything away from Nick Chubb, all you Nick Chubb super fans. He's a great running back.
Yes.
But there are some offenses where it's like it doesn't matter who you put in there. They'll get positive yards, You'll see Jerome Ford get big games. There's some offenses who are just good at that. And then just like Tampa Bay, it's like it doesn't matter who's back there. They just can't run the ball. For the last how many years? They had Tom Brady at quarterback. They have great receivers. And it didn't matter. Like whoever they put back there is getting like 2 yards a pop. It just doesn't matter. I don't know why, but whatever they're doing, it's not working. So anyways, that's just how it is. Okay. We do have a lot of questions to get to, so we'll do that. But first, some other breaking news. We're partnered with Underdog. Well, maybe some of you already knew that. But if you didn't know that, we do have a partnership. Very proud. Underdog Fantasy, great site. We've used them for years, and now we're fortunate enough that we actually get to work with them. And so because of that, if you use promo code ENDGAME and you sign up for the first time, you get a 100% deposit match up to $100, and you get the new customer special. You do the pick'ems, you get a free pick basically because Joe Burrow just needs 1 yard on Thursday night, and you take that pick, go higher, combine it with any other pick that you like, and you can triple your money just like that. And again, like you always say, you're basically playing with house money because they've already given you double whatever you deposit. So start with however much you want. It doesn't have to be $100, but again, the more you put in up to that limit, the more you get back. So check it out if you haven't already. And of course, join us on Friday. We're going to do another live draft with you, our viewers, and we'll see who wins week 11. All right, but let's get to your comments because that's what we're here for. Dan O from Europe, late night. All right. Needs a wide receiver in 2 flex. Terry, Nico, Waddle, Pollard, Ford. Just talked about him, and Rachaad White.
I think out of these wide receivers, I still got to put Waddle ahead of them. Still got to go Waddle first. 2 flexes. Oh, man.
Does Pollard make the cut? That's the real question.
Oh, geez. I mean, he should, but can he?
Well, I think the first big question is, does Nico play? Obviously it's too early in the week to know, but you get good feeling, bad feeling?
I think he was limited today. And I did see, although he was back at practice today. And it's only Wednesday, so you can't panic. But Noah Brown missed practice today, did not practice today. Of
course.
Just in time to save everybody's fantasy team. But look, it's only Wednesday. He could be back tomorrow and be fine. I don't stress about it. But Nico was at practice today, so that's a good sign. So I feel okay that he probably has a good chance to play. I like Nico. I like Terry. I like Rachaad White. Like, it's hard to bench Rachaad White right now. I know it's not a great matchup, but against the 49ers, all that pressure, he could get 5-6 dump-offs from Baker Mayfield in this game. Pollard's in a great matchup. Man, this is tough behind.
Yeah.
This is tough behind Waddle.
It's like if Nico plays at home, you almost feel like you have to play him against Arizona.
And especially if Noah Brown is out, that just makes him an even better play.
Oh, yeah, that would be like a dream matchup. Yeah, this is tough. And in this case, again, I still like Ford, but I feel like he's last on this list.
Yeah, for these guys. If it's PPR, I might just go with the 3 wide receivers.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Why risk Pollard doing another, Pollard thing? And Yeah, probably just go 3 receivers. And if Nico doesn't play, do you go Pollard or do you go White?
Oh, it's so tough because, I mean, it should be Pollard, but man, it hasn't been Pollard. And White's been so good. You really want to leave Rachaad White on your bench this week. I mean, he's been so good. I think I'm probably going Rachaad White over Pollard. I mean, how many times can we say this is a Pollard week and it not be a Pollard week?
Yeah, look, I mean, if you have somebody who can produce at least as much as Pollard has been and also doesn't have that risk of flopping, I mean, why, right? Why? Pollard, and if your other choice was, Ty Chandler, like, no, I'll still go Pollard. But yeah. All right, so there you go. 3 receivers. If Nico doesn't play, go White. All right, Juice 420. He's a member. He's always here. And he's got 2 super chats plus some more questions.
Right.
Let's get to this. Got a string here. What's up, Juice? 14 team. He's 9-1. Got Murray, CMC, Keaton Mitchell, Diggs, Addison, McBride, and Waddle on the bench. Kincaid. Interesting. Kincaid or McBride. What do you think about that?
I'm playing Kincaid personally, but it is a good spot for McBride. You know what? Do we put Waddle in over Addison and flex the 2 tight ends?
Well, actually, that's a thought. I was going to say, we talked about the Buffalo thing yesterday, the offensive coordinator and all that. Don't know if that affects Kincaid. I'm still starting Kincaid, but that actually is an interesting thought. Addison. I mean, how do you bench McBride? And
I mean, Addison hasn't been like that good with Dobbs. And now, we still haven't heard anything yet, but if Jefferson happens to be back this week, that just makes it even harder for Addison.
Well, I saw something that made me think Jefferson's not coming back. It was supposedly a quote from O'Connell saying, like, well, we'll see. He's going to have to show some improvement, like working his way back, basically making it sound like it was a long shot. But again, it's early. Who knows? You know what? I'm down with that. Let's do that. Let's put Waddle in instead of Addison, and you're going to go 2 tight ends.
Yeah.
Because nobody else makes the cut on your bench.
No.
All right. And then 2 questions. Well, okay. We answered that.
We just answered that one, but we said play them both.
Would it be a bad idea to trade Bijan for Achane?
Yeah, I'm sticking with Deshaun. I just am. I mean, you got to think. Look, it's Arthur Smith. Who knows? But he gave him 22 carries before the bye week. Bijan was great. Bijan scored. You know, I was thinking this watching the game. Or not. Well, I didn't watch the entire Falcons game, but I was following the game on my phone, and I was the red zone highlights, and I was like, I don't think I ever remember Bijan Robinson having one run out of those 22 runs where he did not gain yards. I said, I'm sure he did though, because come on, like what running back carries the ball 20 times and doesn't have at least one carry where they don't gain a yard? Well, I went back and watched all his runs. He did. He went 22 carries without losing a yard. Like, how can you possibly after that game say Tyler Algier is like better in short yardage or goal? Like, the guy did not lose a yard on any carry for 22 carries. Like, it was ridiculous. And that goal line run where he bounced it to the outside, I gotta feel like coming out of the bye, this team is desperate. They've lost 3 in a row. We're gonna see workhorse Bijan Robinson rest the season. I still am gonna prefer Bijan to Achane.
Very optimistic there. I mean, you would think. I mean, who can say Algier is better? Arthur Smith can. He can say anything with a straight face, apparently. But I know, I get it. I would still keep Bijan too, just because there is risk with Achane. I mean, there's also not just risk of re-injury. But also, what if he doesn't break off a long touchdown run? Like, imagine that. What if it doesn't happen?
You mean, what if he doesn't average 12 yards per carry this year, which would break the NFL record by a significant amount?
I mean, it's hard to imagine, but it is possible. We don't know that because we haven't seen him have a game where he didn't do that because he only played like 3 games. That's why. Anyways, yeah, I would keep Bijan too. All right, and then we got Michael Fawcett. What is up? PPR flex: James Cook, Cortland Sutton, or Gus Edwards.
Who? Broncos get Vikings.
Yeah, it's a pretty good matchup for Sutton. I think he's probably the best bet here.
Yeah, probably. Bills, Jets, Gus. I mean, yeah. I'm probably going Sutton. In PPR, I'm going Sutton.
Yeah, exactly. Because Gus scores touchdowns. Guess what? So does Cortland Sutton. He's one of the leaders in touchdowns as a receiver. James Cook will be really interesting to see. I shared on the Discord. I thought it was really interesting. I know you like Warren Sharp, and I mean, not personally, but just like he's a smart guy. He knows what he's talking about usually. And that whole long thing about Buffalo. Basically, long story short, the problem wasn't the offensive coordinator. The problem is Sean McDermott. That's kind of what he's.
I think Sean McDermott is a problem, and I think he got by for a couple of years because Brian Daboll. Well, two things: Brian Daboll and the addition of Stephon Diggs as he entered his prime. Kind of hid some of the negatives there in Buffalo, but now we're seeing them, I think. So yeah.
Yeah, we forget there was some talk for a while last year that Brian Daboll being gone was a problem for Josh Allen, and then everyone's like, oh no, it was the injury, it was his shoulder, or whatever. Okay, fine. And now this year, like, what is it? He's not healthy. Is that what it is? I don't know. Sean McDermott's a defensive guy. He's not a guy who wants to air it out. So just maybe not a good mix. But anyways, he wants to run the ball. James Cook looked good last week, but the upside isn't quite there for him. I'd go Sutton. I'm going to get off on tangents here. It's too late. Sir Boomer. Okay, what's up, Boomer?
Oh my gosh.
Someone offered Higgins for Chuba.
Take Higgins. Yeah, take Higgins. You have to take Higgins.
Yeah, see, they agree.
You have to take Higgins.
This is somebody dealing out of desperation, and you take advantage of that desperation, and you say, here you go. Like, it's okay if Higgins doesn't play this week because
he's already been ruled out, but yeah.
I mean, do you really are you dying to start Chuba Hubbard this week?
No. Like I put T. Higgins on the buy low, but I actually put the Steelers running backs as potential targets. Chuba, that's even worse. Yeah, take that.
He's saying he's inclined to say no because he doesn't want to go against Chuba this week. I really don't think he'll beat you single-handedly. I really don't.
No. If Chuba beats you, it's just because he's on a team. He's on the winning team. He's like Mark Madsen from the Lakers.
Right.
Mark Madsen didn't beat you. He just happened to be on the winning team.
Exactly. Or like the long snapper for the New England Patriots during the Tom Brady era. Yeah. You don't need a receiver. Take the receiver. Take it.
Yeah.
All right. What's up, Young Money? Back again. Hope all's well. Jacobs and Puka, or Bijan and Ridley.
I gotta go Jacobs and Puka.
Yeah.
Because I probably have to still prefer Jacobs to Bijan. I mean, we know Jacobs' coach is like basically. It's like, is Jacobs' coach like his biggest fan or what? Like he's like loves Josh Jacobs. And I mean, I got to think Puka can be at least as bad as Calvin Ridley, if not better than Calvin Ridley. So it's got to be the Jacobs and Puka side.
Yeah, I'm definitely preferring the Jacobs and Puka side. There's risk with Puka, but then there's Calvin Ridley, who is just like walking risk every week. So yeah, Jacobs and Puka, I think pretty easily for me. Not that it's like extremely lopsided, but that's definitely the side I prefer.
Yeah.
All right, Dan Fuller. Welcome back, Dan. Would you trade Hollywood and Deontay for Olave and Sutton? This is pretty close.
Yep. 2 guys on the buy low, 2 guys not on the buy low. I think I would take Hollywood and Deontay. Even though I feel like Olave's better than those guys, I just feel like Hollywood and Deontay could be great rest of the season. I mean, look, maybe it's not going to happen for Hollywood, but first game back for Kyler, I'm not ready. Hollywood has a fantastic playoff schedule. I think I'm taking the Hollywood and Deontay side and hoping it happens.
Yeah, this one is super close. But I do think I'll prefer. Well, I don't know. I mean, I think out of all four of those players, I think Olave is the one I like the best.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think I would put Sutton fourth. So it's like 2 and 3 for 1 and 4.
Yep.
This is pretty close. I guess the safer side, if you want to talk about floor, would be the Hollywood Deontay side. But I'm tempted by ceiling, not floor. So I might go the Olave Sutton side. But this is close either way. Eric Castellanos, if you're still here, because he dropped this chat about an hour ago, not going to show this answer because you're giving away one of my future stashes. But I would say yes, you could do that. Wei Yu Zhang, Fields or Murray?
I think I gotta go Murray. I kind of like what I was saying last week with Murray. Although remember, he wasn't a hand, he was a knee, but I think the hand is even worse.
Yeah.
Let me see Fields' first game back. How is he throwing the ball? How's the hand look? Murray looked good enough last week. You got to think he'll be even better this week. I'm going Murray.
Yeah. Not only you feel better about Murray, I like Murray's matchup. I think he could have a big week. Yeah, and also let's see Fields. But also the matchup for Fields is definitely worse. On the road against Detroit, pretty solid defense. So yeah, in a lot of ways it's Murray. Ralphie, back again. Puka or Olave rest of the season?
I got to go Olave. There's a lot of question marks for Puka right now. How healthy is Stafford? How's this offense going to look? Is it going to be the Cooper Kupp show again? Is it going to be a split between these guys? I think I just feel better about Olave. I mean, I know I feel better about Olave. I'm going Olave.
Yeah, definitely Olave. Obviously, this week can't help you. But, it's funny. It's not too often that maybe the idea of a backup quarterback coming into play is good for a receiver or the offense. In this case, it might be. If Carr does miss next week, which is still iffy, he may not. But if so, oh, come on. You got to like Olave better with Winston chucking.
Oh, for sure. But I just think there's like a barely more than a 0% chance we see Jameis Winston. That's all.
I think Carr's good to go.
Yeah, because that's what Dennis Allen said. He said his shoulder's fine. He's just in the concussion protocol. And they have the bye week this week, so it's like, okay, he'll probably be fine. I mean, and as fun as Winston would be and as great as it would be for fantasy, it's probably not the best option for the Saints.
Well, it's not as good as Taysom Hill, but yeah.
So...
either way, it's Olave. Alex B traded Hopkins for Higgins. See, Higgins, people just don't want any part of him.
They want no part of him. Go get him.
Yeah, this is the win. Because what are you really losing with Hopkins at this point?
10 points. 10 PPR points.
If even. Joker. Yeah, okay, so Deshaun is... chilling at home. Dobbs is doing great. Likely going to playoffs. Baker playing solid. Houston thriving. Are you trying to say all is right in the world?
Yeah, maybe. But this sounds like something Batman would say, not the Joker.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point. Sal, Lamar to a rest of season.
I got to still go Lamar. Look, I don't often put QBs on the buy low, but I put Lamar on the buy low.
I mean, he's been down for 3 straight games, not really doing much, but I'm not worried about him. A lot of people seem to be.
We're getting questions like Dobbs or Lamar Jackson this week.
And it's legitimate because if you look at the fantasy points, the last 2 weeks, because Dobbs, the week before, but I mean, I understand where it comes from, but there's no way I'm benching Lamar. Even
No, I get where it's coming from, but it also illustrates how big of a buy low Lamar Jackson is right now, where it's like,
yeah.
okay.
All right. And then Michael Cazares, Noah Brown or DJ Moore?
Well, let's hope Noah Brown plays. But with it looking like Fields and Nico probably back, I think I'm going DJ Moore.
Since we know pretty much for sure that Fields is playing, yeah, I think you got to go DJ Moore here. And then what about Monty or Achane? This is non-PPR, by the way.
I don't even know if that matters for Achane. Like, really, like, right? It's not like Achane was like, well, he's got to catch a bunch of passes. It's like, no, he just needs to rip off long touchdowns, which any format, that's a great thing. Doesn't matter what your scoring format is.
Right. It's not like Monty's this big receiving back either.
Right. Monty is safer, but if it's me, I'm probably putting Achane in. Let's go. It's a great matchup for Achane this week. All the reports are he looks fantastic. I'm going Achane. I'm shooting for that upside.
Yeah, this is classic. Take what you know you're getting, which is really good, or go for the home run. I will say this is a tough week to want to bench Monty because they're at home and they're playing his former team, the Bears.
True.
And he's looked really good last week. He ripped off a long touchdown run. He looked like Achane. I mean, it's really hard for me to bench Monty, but yeah, it's also almost impossible to bench Achane. So shoot for the upside. Graham McLaren, 18 PPR, needs 2, 2, and 2. Adams, St. Brown, Rice, Metcalf, Flowers. And then running back, he's got Jones, Hall, Connor, Pacheco.
All right, well, wide receiver, you're going St. Brown and Adams. At running back, Hall. I mean, this should be a good Aaron Jones week. It should. The Chargers at home. I think I'm going Aaron Jones. It should be a good Aaron Jones week.
Yeah, I like Jones. Actually, I think this is PPR. I think I might go 3 and 3. Do 3, like start, one running back and one receiver at flex. I might do that.
Yeah, you need 2 flexes, so probably go Connor. You going DK Metcalf?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Adams, St. Brown, Jones, Hall, flex, Metcalf, Connor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. All right. There's settled. Keith. Rose was next. Okay. Let's see. Keith Tapp. Fields, Hal, Jones, Javante, Sun God Cup, Amari, Mark Andrews. On the bench, Bijan, Deontay Olave, Chandler, Herbert, and Jaleel.
I'm putting Deontay in over Amari now for sure. For sure. Look, I hope Dorian Thompson can connect with them and he can have like a decent game where we can feel good about him. But let me see it happen first, because it certainly did not happen last time. So Deontay should be fine. I know Deontay was terrible last week, but that was a random thing. He's almost never terrible. So I'm putting Deontay in over Amari, but I think the rest looks good.
Yeah, at this point now, bench Amari. It's nice that you don't have to make too many decisions because those other 2 guys are on bye. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Swap Deontay out. I mean, you're in first place. You don't need the win, but I know you want the win. So,
trust me, the people that are like 5 and 5 or 4 and 6, they need to win. Those people need to win.
Exactly. This is interesting. Parabellum, what's up? Stroud or Tua?
I know it's hard to bench Stroud, but I think I still got to go Tua at home against the Raiders. It's close. They might both have great games, but Tua at home against the Raiders. I mean, how do I bench him? I can't. I'm going Tua.
I know it's obviously tough to bench Tua, and I don't know. Stroud gets the Cardinals. That's a nice matchup for him. I wonder if the Antonio Pierce led Raiders are just a little bit better than they were before, enough that they're not going to be one of the worst defenses. I actually might shock you here. I might go Stroud over Tua.
Wow. All right.
And just because, I'm still starting Tua 9 out of 10 leagues I'm in. But if I have Stroud, it's like not only is it hard to bench him, but again, it's at home against the Cardinals. It's like I just don't know if I can bench him. That's the thing. Now this may be too far. Ben Wynn, Mahomes or CJ Stroud?
Still going Mahomes. Still going Mahomes.
Yeah. I go Mahomes here. I know that he's playing the Eagles. It's fine. Like he'll be fine. I'll go Mahomes here. Rob. At wide receiver, Adams, Hollywood, Nico, Addison, Downs, Thielen. Worried about Thielen. Okay, get it. Would you trade Thielen and something on the bench to get what would be a good receiver to overpay for? Well,
well, I got the buy lows coming out tomorrow. I'll say some of my favorite buy lows. I mean, I think Devontae Adams is a good buy low right now. I think Devonta Smith is a great buy low right now because Dallas Goedert out for however long, and he's got a fantastic playoff schedule, Devonta Smith. So if you're looking for higher end wide receivers that you want to overpay for, I'd be looking at those guys. I think DJ Moore is fantastic right now with Fields back. Talked about Higgins, Hollywood, but I don't know if you're going to overpay for those guys necessarily. So Kupp, look, if you're willing to gamble, Kupp. If you're willing to gamble on Kupp, go overpay for Kupp.
I would do that. I'm buying. I have traded for Kupp in 2 leagues already this week. It's worth it for Thielen. I mean, again, it finally happened. Shockingly, Adam Thielen, not the top receiver in fantasy anymore, and or top 5 receiver. He was never the top, but you know what I mean.
I will say, if there's something to hang your hat on for Thielen, like, hey, maybe there's a chance. Frank Reich is now going back to calling the plays, and somehow the offense actually was worse without Frank Reich calling the plays. So maybe we see something more similar to the beginning of the season, or maybe they just continue to be awful.
Yeah, they'll just continue to be bad, is my guess. But yeah, I think it's fine. I would do Thielen for any of those guys you talked about. Let's get Matthew Rice. He's a dynasty player. This is very interesting because Deshaun Watson obviously out for this season, but dynasty is forever. Somebody just flat out dropped him, and apparently they do have IR spots. So I'm not sure what the idea there is. He already has 3 quarterbacks.
It doesn't matter. I mean, look, is it a one QB league?
Probably.
I mean, you should probably still pick him up and put him in IR. Put him on IR. Why not? Why not?
Why not? I mean, that's what I don't get. Why did the person who has Watson not just do that?
Not only that, it's dynasty. Like, you didn't have room for Watson on your bench.
People do funny things. Now, I will say this too, though. If it is a 1 QB league and you now have 4 quarterbacks, you could probably try to trade one. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, definitely.
Sammy, PPR Flex, Jacoby Musgrave, Michael Wilson, or Quentin Johnston? These are the questions we live for.
Well, out of this group, I'm going Quentin Johnston. At least he showed a little something. And look, I'm sure Keenan Allen will play, but he didn't practice today, so definitely something to monitor. But even still, they have no tight ends. Basically, Gerald Everett. Every time Gerald Everett finally okay, I can play this week, he gets instantly hurt. Donald Parham got hurt.
Yeah.
They have to throw it to Quentin Johnston. They don't really have a choice. Josh Palmer is out. So out of this group, I'm going to go Quentin Johnston.
Yeah, Jacoby's still a no. Just not throwing it to him enough. Musgrave's maybe a tight end, but no.
Yeah.
Michael Wilson, I'm holding out hope for Michael Wilson long term, but not right now because let's see him connect with Kyler Murray, and he's been hurt, so it's Quentin Johnston here. All right, 95. What is up? Thank you. My first two, worried about Cooper. Yeah, we already talked about that.
Yep.
Should I trade him? Sure.
Yeah, if you can, now's the time. Now's the time.
And Dobbs or Burrow because Burrow's playing the Ravens.
Yeah, I'm playing Burrow. I'm playing Burrow. Not worried about the matchup. Nothing. It's Joe Burrow. He's still got, as long as Jamar Chase is out there, we're good. We're good.
Right. Look, Ravens are a good defense, but this isn't like the 2001 Ravens. They're not a shutdown defense. You saw what happened last week when they played the Browns. They just collapsed. So, anyways, yeah, play Burrow. And then Jack Smith can pretty easily say it's not crazy to start Achane.
Not crazy at all. Not crazy at all.
Is this crazy? King of you, Pollard over Achane.
Yeah, you might as well just gamble on Achane. Like, what are we getting with Pollard? I mean, look, maybe this is the week. Maybe this is finally the week. Finally. But I'd rather just take whatever Achane gives me.
Yeah, I mean, you can start Pollard, but not over Achane. And then Brian, what's up, Brian? Appreciate it. Dynasty question. Now, every time you ask this, I wonder which league is it, and is it one that we're into? Is a 24 early second too much to get for Mixon or Connor?
Yeah, I wouldn't do it. I mean, maybe if you're like, I mean, if this is the absolute missing piece, but take it from somebody who's done this before, and then that missing piece you trade for ends up not even helping you either because of injury or because they end up being bad, and then you're like, why didn't I just keep my second? I still would have won, or I still would have lost. It doesn't even matter. Like, I want to at least get somebody back. Like, I know you like Mixon, so maybe you feel like Mixon will be good again, or like good enough next year too, and going forward, but. I mean, an early second, I'm assuming it's super flex. You could still be looking at a really good player in the early second, like a really good pick in the early second. So if it's me, I'm not doing it.
No, I wouldn't do this. Like, think about this. Like, who was around the early second round range this year in the rookie drafts that you could have gotten? Like, I think like a Josh Downs. Right? He wasn't a first round pick unanimously. You get a guy like that.
I'm looking at the consensus. What was it for? Is this Superflex? How do I change? Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, early second. That's the thing. Mid to late second. But still.
I'll give you some. Here was the early second. Devon Achane. Yeah, that would hurt to not have gotten Devon Achane. Kendry Miller, okay, he hasn't been great. Michael Mayer, jury's still out. Marvin Mims, jury's still out. Rashawn, Josh Downs, Tyjae Spears. So, I mean, but look, Sam Laporta was in the second round. Like, you never know. That's the thing. You never know. It's always a crapshoot, right? It's always a crapshoot, but like, what are you getting from Joe Mixon? You're getting like decent RB2 production, and some weeks he's going to kill you. What are you getting from James Conner? Same thing, probably. But what are you getting from these guys next year? So,
look, are either of these players really going to be the one that takes you over the hump to be a champion? That's the question. And that's the thing. I don't think the answer is right. It's not just age. It's like, are you really getting enough in return? Look, there's a league, and maybe I should wind up doing this. There's a dynasty league where I'm kind of like a fringe contender. I have to decide which way I'm going to go. But I'm not kidding when I say I have like no running back two. Like, my number 2 running back who I had to start last week is Jamal Williams. He's on bye. So my running back 2 this week right now, if I don't make a trade, is Tank Bigsby. So I need a running back, and somebody offered me Kareem Hunt for like a 4th round pick. And I was like, okay, it's a 4th, but I was like, do I really want Kareem Hunt on my roster for Dynasty? So I haven't even taken that. But I might.
I think for a 4th, I would take it. I mean, it's a 4th, like whatever.
Yeah, but I mean, I probably should, and I probably will. But I was like, all right. Let's get to the next one here. Anthony Cervantes. Need 2 running backs in a flex. There's Pollard, and then Ford, Singletary, G. Willie, Marquise Brown. Also starting Hurts over Stroud. Yeah, you're starting Hurts. Okay, 2 running backs, no flex.
I mean, I don't know if I can go Pollard. I don't know if I can go these two guys over Pollard this week. I think I'm going Singletary and Pollard. Singletary and Pollard at running back. And then I'm probably flexing Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, I still want to start Garrett Wilson. He's getting so many targets. Still makes up for the lack of touchdown upside. Yeah, in this group, I'll still go Pollard. And now I think I might go Singletary over Ford. I probably would have gone Ford, but I think, although I guess it depends if Dameon Pierce is active or not. But I might just go Singletary.
Yeah, if Dameon Pierce plays, then I'll probably go Ford. But I still think we'll see a lot of Singletary, and it's a good matchup. But I mean, I do like it's very close. Like Cheeks asked, Ford, Singletary, or Ty Chandler. They're all very close for me. So, but Singletary has such a good matchup. Might have to go him.
Right, because of the matchup. Okay, and then Dan Fuller, another flex. Boyd, Singletary, or Sutton.
Sutton feels like the safe choice. Singletary feels like the upside choice, and then Boyd feels like the who knows what I'm going to get choice. I might just go Singletary. I don't feel a big. I mean, does Sutton ever really have a big game? He has good games, but I don't think he really has a big game. I don't think he can have a big game in this offense. So I'll probably go Singletary again here.
Yeah, still not buying into Boyd. And I love our boy Keith, the Weather Beast, in the Discord. He explained it very well to somebody who was like, "Why not Boyd? He was good," and he gave a good reason. So, like, Boyd is fine, but I wouldn't put him over these two guys. I think Sutton's interesting, but yeah, the matchup's so good for Singletary. So I'm gonna say the same thing. If Pierce doesn't play, go Singletary. If he does, go Sutton. Red Boone needs to flex either Zay Flowers, Rashee Rice, Deontay, or JSN.
Well, for me, one of these guys is in a different tier than the others, and that is Deontay Johnson. I know, again, I keep saying it. I know he had a down week last week, but everybody has down weeks. He's been mostly very good. He's been mostly very good every week for the last 2+ years. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna panic on him after one down game. I think Deontay is head and shoulders above these guys. I'm going Deontay.
Yes, definitely going Deontay. Let's not get caught up in last week. Last week is over. Let's look ahead. Deontay will be good. He'll be fine. Mike B, Kyler or Dobbs rest of season?
Kyler. I still got to go Kyler. I'm not. Look, maybe Dobbs does it, but remember he did this for a few games in Arizona, and then it was like, oh, the wheels fell off, and he was terrible for a while too. He's still Josh Dobbs. I mean, I'm going Kyler.
Yeah, we can't let the hype get a little too out of hand here. Kyler, was the number one pick in the NFL draft and one of the top fantasy quarterbacks before he got hurt. It's got to be Kyler. I think it's Kyler for sure. And we did talk about this, and then we'll get into some of the comments from basically right after we went live. So, other John, yes, it's a massive downgrade on Cooper.
Yes.
And Ted Metalhead, condolences. He's a Browns fan.
Yeah.
Sorry, didn't wish it upon the Browns fans. That's just the way it is. All right, Eric, best flex spot: Schultz, Keaton, Mitchell, Ridley, or Sutton. It's interesting.
Again, I'm going to say Sutton feels safe. It's a good matchup against the Vikings. I mean, it feels pretty safe to me. Ridley against the Titans, if you're feeling risky, I'm probably going Sutton. In this case, I'm probably going Sutton. He feels like he feels like the right option here.
Yes, I'm going Sutton here. Keaton Mitchell. I mean, look, I finally will say, sure, pick him up. I'm still not starting him unless I need a running back. You know what I mean? Or if my flex options are much worse than this. And then Ridley, like, come on, let's not hold out too much hope. I really thought Schultz would smash. He should have smashed last week, and he was fine. But obviously, Noah Brown continued to smash. So, anyways, it's fine. And Schultz is still a good start, but I'm going to go Sutton here because I like his matchup too. And he's asking, is there any way you would bench Burrow for Sam Howell?
No.
No. I mean, sure, Howell could outscore him because he plays the Giants, but yeah, just you don't bench Burrow. And it's not because of Boyd. I don't think it has anything to do with Tyler Boyd.
No.
All right, Elmer Sanchez, help with the lineup. T-Law or Howell? Well, in that case,
here I'll go Howell. Here I'll definitely go
Howell there. What about RB Pollard, Gainwell, Sanders, Dowdle?
Hey. I mean, do we go the Cowboy stack? Hope for garbage time Dowdle?
Probably, because the only other realistic, it can't be Sanders.
No, maybe Gainwell, but what are you really hoping for from Gainwell? Like he just falls into the end zone, right?
Yeah, like maybe he scores a touchdown, but
might go the Pollard Dowdle stack. If it's the Panthers, they could blow them out. Maybe we get some garbage time Dowdle again.
Yeah, might as well. Okay, wide receiver DK, Davis, Irwin. Are we just picking one or two? I don't know. That's why I don't know.
Yeah.
I hope this isn't like your entire roster.
I mean, you got to play DK Metcalf out of these guys. I guess Irwin with T. Higgins out. I mean, do we really want to start Gabe Davis against the Jets? I don't. I sure don't.
No. So his DK would be the first choice, Irwin the second choice. And then should you flex McBride? I mean, if these are your options, then I guess.
Yeah, if these are your options, if it's McBride or Gabe Davis or Miles Sanders, just flex McBride.
All right, then we got Jawan, Fly. Can't go wrong with either Kyler or Howell. I think
we might disagree on this. This is one where I might go Howell. I like Howell a lot this week at home against the Giants. I think he could have a really good game again. So I'm going to go Howell.
Well, I agree that you can't go wrong with either. I mean, you're probably going to wind up with two of the top 5 quarterbacks this week. Well, I'll say this. I feel like this could be a boom week for Kyler Murray, but probably should go with a guy who's been doing it against the Giants. So, yeah, I'll go Howell here too. Vinny, what is up? 7-3. Allen is the wide receiver 1, so he needs another receiver, 2 running backs, and a flex. Got Wilson, Puka, Thielen, and Tank. Pollard, Gibbs, Robinson, Connor, and Stevenson.
All right, well, it can't be Stevenson. 1 wide receiver. I think my wide receiver is Garrett Wilson this week. My 2 running backs are Gibbs.
These are all tough because Brian Robinson also in that smash spot. Connor's in a pretty good spot. Pollard's in a great spot. I mean, Tank is in a good spot too, to be honest. You got a lot of potential booms here.
Yep.
And this is happy.
I want to say Gibbs and Pollard. Man. This is the thing. Pollard is so tough this week because if you bench Pollard, you're going to be terrified that this is the week against this terrible Panthers defense that he rips off some long runs, finally scores a touchdown, and you're like, what was I thinking benching Pollard? But then again, if you put him in your lineup, you're terrified that it's just going to be another terrible game for Pollard.
Right.
Like this is literally the worst week to have Pollard. Like if they were playing like some tough run defense, oh just bench him easy. This is the worst possible week to have Pollard. It's like, yeah, oh gosh, how can he be this bad?
Well, I'll say this. I think I can go Pollard over Connor because I don't know that Connor's in line for a huge game. I think they're going to have to pass it a lot, but I think I'd rather take my chance on Pollard than Connor. Robinson's a tough one because you could see what he could do against the Giants. He's already been
Right.
really good for most of the part. I mean, that's the tough thing. Robinson has been a little boom bust, a little bit.
Yeah. Surprising stat I heard about Brian Robinson. He's the only running back who has had 2 weeks as the top scoring running back this year.
Really? CMC.
I know, right? Right?
I mean, I liked Brian Robinson heading into this season. He was one of my guys, but that's surprising to me. Anyways, Gibbs and just go Gibbs Pollard.
I guess Gibbs Pollard, maybe flex Robinson, maybe just flex Robinson.
Here's the thing. Okay, Wilson is the wide receiver. I don't think I know I don't want to flex Thielen. Puka is risky. So is it Tank or is it Robinson? I mean, I like Tank too.
I mean, I like Tank too, but I think Robinson feels safer with similar ceiling, so I might just go Robinson. This is tough. This is tough. This is like if I had this team, I would be flip flopping all week probably. Like one day I'd be like this lineup, next day this is one where I just wouldn't want to look at it until I had to.
Yeah. But you have good options. That's the problem. So you have too many running backs in good spots. All right, so here's what we're going to do, Vinny. We're going to start Wilson at receiver and then go Pollard, Gibbs, Robinson. Unless you feel like Tank is a good choice. But anyways, that's what we do. All right, Cesar Leo was offered Mixon and Jake Ferguson for Pitts and Monty.
This is close. You're getting the tight end upgrade, but you're getting the running back downgrade. Probably. I do have a little bit of worries for Monty rest of the season. I still think he'll be good, but it's obvious that Jahmyr Gibbs is at least gonna be a split. And we can't bank on him ripping off 75-yard touchdowns every week. But you know how I feel about Mixon. So I still have to prefer Monty. This is tough. This is another tough one. I guess because it's close and they're tight ends, I guess I'll take the Monty Pitts side because I feel like the drop off from Ferguson to Pitts probably not as severe as the drop off from Monty to Mixon, but I could see this going either way by the end of the season. Honestly,
this is another super close one. Like it's almost like same guys, different team. I'll lean the Monty side because I just have a little more trust in Monty than Mixon. But it is really close. All right, David to Roger, Javonte, and Andrews, or Evans, Devontae, and Laporta.
Yeah, I think you have to do this, unless you like. Well, I don't know which side you are. I'll say the side getting Evans, Devonta Smith, and Laporta has to take this.
Yes.
Unless the team with Javonte Williams, like if Javonte Williams is your RB2, and now your RB2 is going to be Chuba Hubbard rest of the season, okay, then maybe you have to stick with Javonte Williams because you can't be starting Chuba Hubbard every week. But assuming you have a decent RB2, you got to take the Evans, Devonta, Laporta side here.
Yeah, even if you don't, I would still do it and just find a running back somewhere. You're getting two good every week starting receivers, and you're getting not much of a drop off at tight end. You got to do. Yeah, I hope you're getting the 3. If you're getting the 3, definitely do this. All right, Janelle. 12 team PPR tied with a lot of people, I guess, at 6-4. So we need to separate from the herd. 2 running backs, 2 receivers, a tight end, and a flex. Traded Saquon for Jettis. That's a win.
I like it. I think it'll be a long-term win.
Right. Even if he doesn't play this week, I think that's a good move. Good time to sell Saquon. Good time to buy Jettis. All right. Start, sit, and any moves. Tua, Mayfield, Walker, Achane, Aaron Jones, Gus Edwards, Foreman, Chandler, Chase Evans, Amari, Olave, and Jefferson, Ingram, and Logan Thomas.
All right. Well, the running backs are going to be Walker and Achane, I think. I think I got to go Walker over Aaron Jones.
I was going to say, I figured you'd go Aaron Jones over Walker.
Well,
I might go Aaron Jones over Walker, and I like Walker a lot, but I think this week I might go Aaron Jones.
It's just, I mean, he's got a great matchup. He had a great matchup last week, too.
That one's close. It could go either way.
Yeah. A wide receiver, I mean, Chase Evans, definitely a wide receiver, Chase Evans. I'm going Ingram at tight end. You can't play Olave. You can't flex Amari. I might, you know what? I'll flex Aaron Jones. I'm flexing Aaron Jones on this squad.
There you go. Assuming Jefferson doesn't play, of course, which is sounding like he might not. Again, who knows? If he plays, then that's your flex. But if not, yeah, I agree. And look, I'll just say now, looking at this is a 12-team league. You somehow have the number one. I know how because you traded Saquon, but you have the number 1 and 2 receivers basically from the draft day. And like Tyreek Hill, of course, is above them. So is AJ Brown now in real life, but you got JJ and Chase. Olave is your number 3 receiver. Evans is like your 4. I mean, you're good. So if you can trade away Amari to get something, anything, I would do that. Try to trade him. Maybe package Amari and Walker and try to get a high-end running back. See if you can do that. But not Saquon. All right, Bartermania. Welcome back. Saying that you called it Watson out and Hill to the moon. Taysom Hill.
I'm not sure what I called.
Now, again, this was way back from the beginning of the stream, so maybe talking about Deshaun thing, but I don't know.
Maybe, but we didn't talk about Taysom Hill.
We haven't talked enough about Taysom Hill.
Well, we've talked way too much about Taysom Hill this year. I don't need to hear that name anymore.
No. All right, here's Ted Metalhead with a question. Full PPR, Flowers or Boyd?
I probably have to go Boyd. Well, what is the ceiling for Flowers, really? I think I got to go Boyd.
I mean, he was better last week, but yeah, in this case, without Higgins, I might as well take a chance on Boyd and having look, if he has a game like he did last week, then yeah, you'll be fine with it. He did go over 100 yards, right?
Say Flowers?
No, Tyler Boyd.
Oh yeah, and he dropped the easy touchdown. It should have really been a huge game for him. I mean, he just dropped the easy touchdown. So yeah, he went over 100 yards.
Already doing something Zay Flowers has yet to do in his career.
Yeah,
have a 100-yard game. You got years of experience, but yeah, I'm going Tyler Boyd here. Beaston Bryce, what's up? Needs to start 2 between Mostert, Achane, and Thielen.
Not Thielen. I'm going Mostert and Achane.
Oh, and as I scroll down, let's change it up. Needs to start 3 between Mostert, Achane, Swift, and Thielen.
Still not Thielen.
Yeah. I'm not feeling Thielen this week, and I think you're fine starting both Miami running backs. It's the Raiders. And no, we don't hate the Raiders, but statistically, they don't have a good run defense.
No.
All right. Definitely do not hate the Libertarian Sasquatch. Still the best name. Now, this is interesting. Amari Cooper or Tyler Boyd?
I might just go Boyd, honestly. Whoa, knocked over my microphone from this question. I might just go Boyd. I mean, I really don't want to play Cooper if I don't have to. Higgins out. I'll just go Boyd. Give me Boyd. Let's see what I get from Boyd.
I mean, if it was Walker, then I might lean Cooper. But with the rookie quarterback, you can't risk it. It is way too risky. In this case, I think, that's how low we are on Cooper this week. I don't think it's worth it. 95, we need 2 running backs between Achane, Ford, and Brees.
I mean, I like Ford this week, but I don't think I can play him over these guys. I'm going Achane and Brees.
Yeah, I think this is another case. I mean, Achane, you want to start anyways. I know Brees had a down game, but it doesn't mean you could just, relegate him to your bench and never start him again. He could rip off a big run. And I do think Ford, I do lose a little bit of interest in him with the rookie quarterback. I think it does affect the whole offense because with running backs, it's a lot more game script dependent. And so they just might not be able to give him as many carries as they would like, assuming things go south. So I think you got to go Achane and Brees. And then Patrick Dupuis, Godwin, or Ingram? Because you already got me.
Yeah, I'm going Godwin here. It's not a great spot for Ingram. I'm sure he'll be fine, but it's not a spot where you can feel like he's going to have a big game. So I'll go with Godwin.
Yeah, I know Godwin didn't come through last week, even though it was a smash spot. Apparently he wasn't feeling great, whatever. I still go Godwin. Ingram is fine, but if you already sit at tight end, go the receiver. Godwin should be better. They just might have to throw it a lot, right? They could still get smashed, and Godwin has a good game because they're coming from behind and having to throw it. So I'm going Godwin. And then Ayush, what's up? Don't ask it. Let's talk about Pollard. Will, I feel like we've talked him up quite a bit this week. He's such a buy low. Okay, is he still a buy low?
I mean, if you're getting him for dirt cheap, maybe. I haven't put him on the buy low in a while. I mean, at what point does a buy low just become a bust? I mean, This is it. This is it. This is his. I mean, he probably has already had his last chance like 3 times this season, but this is truly his last chance against this defense. If he doesn't come through, at least, like, it can't even be like an okay game, right? Like, if he has 50, like if he has 80 yards and no touchdowns or something, like, nah. Even if he had 100 yards and no touchdowns, not good enough. Not good enough this week.
Right. Especially if, like last week, they're up multiple scores and he still does nothing. I mean, do we trust him the rest of the season? Of course not.
No.
Look, yeah. But look, he booms. Okay, but he did it against the Carolina Panthers, right? One of the worst teams in football. And then the schedule gets tougher because it can't get easier. So, anyways. Not saying he's worthless. You can't play him. But yeah, rest of the season, don't want to trust him. Might not surprise anybody to know that right now, Tony Pollard, among all starting running backs, is the biggest underachiever in terms of expected fantasy points. I looked this up because I was doing my Rico Dowdle research today. Tony Pollard is 6th in expected fantasy points per game. Guess where he is on actual fantasy points per game?
20th?
Not even top 20, 23rd, I think.
So either he's going to explode this week or he's just going to underperform all year.
We'll see. And Ayush also wants to know Cooper or Addison.
Well, here I'll go Addison. Even if JJ plays, I'll go Addison. Can't feel good about Cooper with Dorian Thompson now. Go Addison.
Yeah, go Addison. And yeah, this Isaac, he's probably wishing he was back in Buffalo now, isn't he?
Although, maybe. I mean, he wasn't wishing that last year when they went to the playoffs. Didn't he win Coach of the Year? I mean, everything was. Remember last year, everybody was like, "Oh." Just shows in the NFL, man. Nothing lasts forever. Yep.
Not for long. But look, if the Giants, and again, I'm definitely not a Giants fan either. Uh, if they actually, because they have a pretty good draft pick, won't they? They actually kept their draft pick for the first round.
Yeah.
They get themselves a real quarterback. I think Brian Daboll could do wonders with them, but it ain't happening this year. All right, let's go to Phil. Mention Rico's name, and Phil materializes. Possible trades: send Debo, Lockett, and like a bench type for Connor and Cup.
I mean, if you can do that. Look, people are pretty low on Cup right now, right? They're pretty terrified of Cup, so maybe Debo Lockett is enough for Cup. I don't know if Chandler for Connor is enough. I mean, you could try it.
I mean, if you can do that, yeah, I'll take Connor Cup. Or scenario 2, send Achane for Pollard.
I'm not doing that. I'm keeping Achane.
Yeah, not doing that. We just kind of finished on that whole topic. Sorry, I don't. This again. We were talking about Deshaun Watson. I saw Sam Bradford's name, and it just totally took me off guard.
Sam Bradford.
Sam Bradford, did not expect that name because hey, they're talking about Matt Ryan like pulling out of the booth to go play. Come on. All right, Jedi Cough, James Cook, Kareem Hunter, Devin Singletary in half.
I think I gotta go Devin Singletary. Like what? James Cook is fine. Kareem Hunt, nah, like touchdown or nothing. Singletary has a great matchup again this week. I think even if Dameon Pierce plays, like how much Dameon Pierce do we really see? So yeah. I'm going Singletary.
Yeah, Hunt is kind of a touchdown or really not much. And then Cook looked good other than 2 fumbles.
Hold on, my dogs are going nuts and nobody's home. Let me go check real quick. Yeah.
All right, A Zerby, PPR flex. We need just one between Deontay Johnson, Addison, Jaden Reed. All right, I like Jaden Reed, but JSN, it's got to be Deontay. Like I know that he let down last week, but he had been so good the 2 weeks before. He is solid. He should be fine. It was just one of those weeks. I mean, you can't explain it. It happens. Every good player has down weeks. They just didn't pass the ball much. Now, this week against the Browns, it's a tough defense. But I do feel a little better that they'll have the ball more. I mean, it could just be an ugly run-heavy game again, right? Steelers, Browns. It's probably going to be a lot of running, but I still think you have to start Deontay Johnson over these guys.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's not like they're not going to throw it all. And we actually have a storm right now here in SoCal, and my dogs, I don't think, understand what that is.
No, it's probably unusual for you there. Okay, this one I thought was interesting. Gowdy New, somebody who is now quarterback-less because he only had Deshaun Watson. So would you do Kyler Murray, Nico Collins, and Pacheco for, don't know if that's Bijan or Brian Robinson and Debo?
I mean, if it's Bijan Robinson and Debo, definitely. If it's Brian Robinson and Debo, I mean, I guess. It's not terrible. I probably prefer Brian Robinson to Pacheco. Probably still got to prefer Debo to Nico. I'm assuming you don't need Kyler since you're trading him away. So if it's Bijan Robinson, yeah, definitely. If it's Brian Robinson, sure.
Yeah, it's funny, like, you think that, but Brian Robinson is actually outscoring Bijan Robinson right now. But I know it's still, we're hoping that Bijan gets a little bit more reliable down the stretch. But yeah, I think you can do this.
I mean, Brian Robinson is right now is the running back 3, 4, 6.
4, isn't it?
He's a running back 6, but I mean, he's only averaging 14. I say only, but he's only averaging 14 points per game. He's been very boom bust, right?
Yeah, well, the risk with Robinson is that he does have some down games where he just doesn't get enough touches, but also a lot of his fantasy points, it's because of touchdowns. And you don't want to rely on touchdowns because those come and go.
I mean, I'm just looking at the running backs. I didn't even realize it was this bad. This is horrible. Oh gosh, running back position, man. If you went robust running back this year, you got to be like just dead in the water. Just dead.
Yeah. Yeah, and all the zero RB drafters are definitely doing victory laps, I'm
I
sure.
mean, you got CMC 24. Raheem Mostert is still somehow the RB2 at 19 points per game. Etienne at
really?
19. Then Josh Jacobs is the RB4 at 14 points a game. Brian Robinson, the RB6 at 14 points a game, is top 6 running. What? Oh, man. I didn't realize it was that bad.
It's definitely a passing league. All right, so you can do this. 95 also asking, would you trade Cooper for McBride?
Nah, not if you have Kincaid. I mean, look, I get it. You're worried about Cooper. Maybe he's going to be terrible all year, but you have Kincaid. I'm not worried about Knox. Is Knox even coming back? I don't even know. I'm not worried about Knox, though.
I'm not worried about Knox. No.
Yeah, I think you can get somebody else for Cooper.
Right. And then Eddie J. Drop Khalil for Dowdle. And believe it or not, there's more than one Khalil. Are you talking Herbert or Shakir? I'm assuming Herbert because it's a running back.
Yeah, and even if it's Shakir, I mean, are we really hanging on to Shakir for anything? Sure, I guess that's fine. I mean, at least Dowdle is the clear handcuff to Tony Pollard for whatever that's worth. And when Khalil comes back, you got to think Foreman is going to stay active or Sean's still there. Yeah, that's fine. I'm fine with it.
Yeah, not a big deal. It doesn't really matter too much because of your running back, so you can do this. And then Trone Force got 2 defenses. Have Mahomes with no backup. Well, if you have Mahomes, you don't need a backup, do you?
No, because yeah, if the only QBs on waiver wire is Russ and Love, I mean, my guess is hopefully not, but if you ever do need a backup, Russ and Love will still be there for you if you need them.
Right. Yeah. You don't need 2 defenses, but I guess you want to play matchups, sure, but you shouldn't need it. Let's see. You got Hawaii checking in.
Aloha.
All right, Eddie J with another. Forgot to ask Amari or Noah Brown.
I mean, if Noah Brown plays, I'm playing Noah Brown over him. He's been great. Like, just let me see Amari with Dorian Thompson not just be awful first. So I'll go Noah.
Yeah. At this point, you have to be worried about Amari Cooper and Noah Brown. I mean, it would be really, really bad timing if he doesn't play. But assuming he plays, he's probably just tired from running all over the place, all over down the field. Yeah, I think you start Noah Brown. Miles Zile traded Devontae and Dotson for DJ and Zeke. Someone's trading for Zeke.
I hope you got the Devontae Dotson side.
I don't think so. I mean, I don't know.
Who even has Zeke on their team? I guess Miles Zile now. I would have kept Devontae and Dotson personally.
Yeah, if you're getting I want to say the Zeke side. I mean, look, I guess it's a good time to get the DJ because Fields is back and we've seen what he can do. But Zeke, really? Yeah, you might not love this trade. I mean, it's not. Look, if DJ Moore winds up going off, sure, you'll be fine. But yeah, you could have got somebody other than Zeke. All right, then we got Finn's Fanatic. All right. Trade Warren and Watson for Devontae Smith.
Yeah, give me Devonta Smith. I mean, this is basically Warren for Devonta Smith, right? Because, well, look, Warren's a starter now. So, you know what's funny? I looked into that more. You know what this is coming from? This is coming from a question that was asked to Mike Tomlin about the Week 10 game that already played, where he had Jaylen Warren introduced with the starters. So again, the Week 10 game where Najee Harris had more touches and started the game, the Week 10 game. And he said, yes, I feel like Jaylen Warren deserved that to be announced with the starters. And Yahoo Fantasy put a little blurb in like the player thing that said Mike Tomlin has announced him as a starter and they expect a 55-45 split. When Mike Tomlin never said that. He never said that. It was a question about the Week 10 game that had already happened. And Tomlin said he deserved to be announced with the starters. And now people are running with that like he said Jaylen Warren is the starter. He did not say that. Will it be? It'll probably be exactly how it's been, which is very close to a 50-50.
Right. I guess they thought that sounded like a sexy headline or something, like, oh, a new starting running back in Pittsburgh. Yeah, it doesn't matter. But I'm taking Devontae Smith.
Even if he said Jaylen Warren is going to start rest of the season, give me Devontae Smith. Remember, Rachaad White was technically the starter last year with Leonard Fournette. How'd that work out?
Yeah, good point.
Being the starter doesn't mean you're getting all the touches.
No. Ray Harcourt needs a flex. White, Henry, Lockett, PPR. Very sad that it's not just automatically Henry.
He's probably my third choice, honestly.
Yeah, this week he might have to be. I mean, not just because of last week, but on the road, Jacksonville, tough run defense.
It's either White or Lockett. I feel like White is like your kind of safe option, and Lockett's your boom bust option. It's just so hard to bench Rachaad White right now. Like how many weeks in a row does a guy have to be great before you just like forget it, he's in my lineup? Like he's just in my lineup. I think that's kind of where I'm at with Rachaad White. I'm going Rachaad White.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think it's Henry. Lockett could always boom. He's been really good this year at the Rams. He usually does pretty well against the Rams, but again, that's the riskier option. So if you really need some upside, the potential boom pick, it would be Lockett, but you probably should just keep White in there. I mean, he's been doing really well. Rusty Shackelford. All right. 12 team, half PPR, needs a flex, 5 and 5. Got Josh Allen, Kyler Murray. Any thoughts potentially benching Josh Allen?
I'm sticking with Allen, but no, I'm not benching Josh Allen now.
I mean, they play against the Jets, and they lost to the Jets, and no.
I'm not doing it.
I might do that. But hey, let's see the rest of the team. Deontay Adams, Pittman, Dell, Higgins, Eckler, Bijan, Connor, Ford, Laporta, and Ferguson. Still trying to work a deal. Interesting. Okay, so let's look at this. Josh Allen and Eckler for AJB and Henry.
Who are your running backs? Eckler, Bijan, Connor, Ford.
I mean, trading away a stud running back to get a stud receiver, trading away Josh Allen to get Derrick Henry.
Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. I think I do this. Just roll with Kyler. I mean, you don't even really need Henry. You'll have Bijan, Connor. I mean, yeah, it's fine to have Henry, but to get A.J. Brown. But I mean, yeah, I guess it's okay. Eckler, A.J. Brown feels very fair. Feels very fair. Running back for wide receiver, stud running back, stud wide receiver, very fair.
Yeah, that's a fair deal.
Yeah.
Okay, so for this week, I don't know if he's asking for a lineup, but I guess we'll do it. Deontay Adams, Pittman, Dell, Higgins. Can't play Higgins. Who do you play?
Pittman.
Yeah,
play Bijan. I mean, Deontay Adams, Eckler, probably Connor. Connor Ford is close. Another close one. Probably Connor. Then I'd probably flex Dell.
And then Laporta over Ferguson, I assume.
Yeah, Laporta over Ferguson.
Yep, I agree with all that. All right, let's get to... Okay. Let's get to Trigger Trey. All right, another 5-5 team. Got Lamar, Bijan, Brees, the Sun God, IU, Kincaid, Garrett Wilson on the bench, Ramondre, K9, Cooper, Hollywood, Javante, Jettis, and Kyron is on IR. Can only keep 5 running backs and 6 receivers. That's odd.
All right.
Okay, so yeah, Kyron not coming back this week, but down the road. And then, well, Jefferson. Okay, so he's asking who can I trade for using K9 and Cooper, which I think is smart.
Yeah.
Good.
I mean, if you're gonna combine those guys, I mean, I don't know. What do you? Well, you can only keep 5 running backs and 6 wide receivers. So you currently have 1, 2, 3, 4. You currently have 5 running backs, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wide receivers when Jefferson comes back. So what are you even trading for?
Yeah, I got Bijan, Brees.
Because you're at the limit. So what are you going to do? So let's say you trade Walker and Cooper and you get, let's say, a stud running back. And then Kyron comes back. You're going to have to drop a running back again. Or same thing if you get a wide receiver, you're going to have to drop a wide receiver again.
Yeah, you can't get another running back. You don't necessarily need one. What are you going to get, a tight end? It's weird.
I mean, maybe, but if I'm trading Walker and Cooper, I better be getting like Kelsey, right. Andrews.
Yeah, it's just weird. It's, first of all, it's a really arbitrary number and rule, like why only 5 running backs and 6 receivers, but there's really not much you can do here. You're gonna have to cut somebody. So yeah, all I can think of is try for like Mark Andrews or Travis Kelsey.
Yeah, because it doesn't really benefit you to go trade for a running back and a wide receiver. Then you're gonna have to drop a running back or a wide receiver when Jefferson and Kyron come back.
Yeah, I don't know. That's odd. All right, Miliam Torres. Start 1. Lamar, T-Law, or Kyler?
It's me, it's Lamar.
Yeah. Definitely not T-Law between these guys. Starting Lamar. And then also flex 1. Need a bye week fill between Chuba, Royce Freeman, Darrell Henderson, Michael Wilson, Rondale Moore, Tutu, or Zach Charbonnet.
I guess Darrell Henderson. Yeah, Darrell Henderson, I guess. Should be the lead back there. Stafford's back, so you don't have to worry about the offense being a complete disaster again. He catches some passes. I guess Henderson.
Yeah, probably Henderson. I just want to say it's been way too long since we had a Tutu Atwell question. So
well, I mean, it's been way too long since Tutu Atwell has been fantasy relevant.
Zay Drummer beats Javante or Mostert for Fields if you have Trevor Lawrence.
I don't know. I know Trevor's been bad, but Fields coming back from a hand injury. We don't know. I don't know if I want to give up those guys just to get a guy like Fields right now. He should have a good game this week at home against the Titans. Should be a good week. I would just roll with Trevor Lawrence this week, honestly.
Yeah, I don't mind trying to upgrade and get a guy like Fields. But yeah, I don't know if I want to trade a starting running back to do it. So just hold out one more week if you can. Sammy, if JJ plays, then pick 2. And if not, then 3. You got Noah Brown, Tank Dell, Devontae Smith, and Deontay Johnson.
Well, I'll say If he doesn't play and you have to pick 3, Noah Brown is the odd man out for me. If you have to pick 2, it's Devonta Smith, and then I might just go with Dell over Deontay. Dell at least has some upside. I don't know if Deontay necessarily has upside this week. So if you need 2, I'm going to go Smith and Dell. If you need 3, I'm going to say Smith, Dell, and Deontay.
Yeah, Smith for me is the first choice. Definitely want to start him if possible this week. Yeah, I mean, might as well go between the Texans. It's hard to say right now because we don't know if Nico Collins is going to play. We don't know if Noah Brown's going to play. I think Tank Dell is probably just fine. So go with him. All right. We are still catching up, by the way, on the Super Chats. I know some of y'all have been waiting because, well, we have several Super Chats lined up before we even go live. And we'll catch up with those and we'll catch up with these. So if you did Super Chat anytime last half hour or so, hang with us and we will definitely answer all of those questions. And of course, all those who are members as well. But we're kind of at halftime here unofficially. So this is the perfect time for me to remind you that if you don't know already, we're partnered with Underdog. If you sign up for the very first time because you, for some inexplicable reason, have not already signed up for Underdog, well, let me tell you, if you do it right now and you use our promo code ENDGAME, then that gets you a deposit match up to $100, 100% dollar for dollar to that limit. And you get to take advantage of the new customer special, which is Joe Burrow on Thursday night, just getting a yard. That's right. So as soon as you get your new account with your funds added, you will see this pop up on the Pick'em screen at the very top. It's Joe Burrow, take the higher on half a yard. And then you compare with any other pick that you like. We do tell you in all of our sit videos some of the picks that we like. And we do these, right? We take pick'ems every week and we play along, and we're going to draft as well. We don't talk enough about the drafts. Now we do the drafts on Friday. You can join us again for a live draft. You can draft with us for not just for money, but for bragging rights. So, anyways, all of that is part of Underdog. So if you haven't signed up, do it now. Make sure you use that promo code ENDGAME. All right, let's get back to the member questions here. Rahul Ramesh, Tua or Dobbs?
Tua.
Yeah.
At home, Raiders. I'm going Tua.
Okay, so he already said he's riding with Tua. I love it after he asked. He's like, I'm riding with Tua. But for the playoffs, he's Russ, Dobbs, like.
I mean, let's see how Josh Dobbs looks when we get to week 15. Let's see if he's still doing this in week 15. Remember, he did this. There was like a 4-game stretch there in Arizona where he did this, and it was like, oh, and then he was terrible again.
But I will say, at least we know maybe not this week, is getting Justin Jefferson back. That's going to help, but
True.
Still, I'm not going Dobbs over Tua now. No. Russ, look, I know they're getting better, but I also just happened to notice today his touchdown rate, his percentage is like 6.9%, and it's his career high. I think it's also the highest in the NFL. In other words, it's unsustainable. It's probably going to have regression soon. He's throwing for like less than 200 yards, but yet going for 2 or 3 touchdowns. It's probably not going to keep up. Just saying. Samuel Piazza, what is up? Trade my Ford for DK.
I don't know. I think I prefer Ford. I just haven't been high on DK this year at all, and I haven't seen anything to make me high on DK. I mean, I think it's fair. But I probably want Ford.
Would you feel better if it was like Ford for Lockett?
No, same.
Okay.
I think it's fair, but I probably prefer Ford. In fact, who did I put? Who did I put Ford Jerome for? I don't know. Okay.
Would you do Ford for like Hollywood?
There, I might take Hollywood because I do like the potential of Hollywood long term, or I say long term, rest of the season.
All right. Yeah, because you got, I mean, when Kyron Williams comes back. Yeah, you're good at running back, but yeah, I think you can get someone comparable here. I think it's fine. But Roberto Ventura. All right, start Stroud or Tua.
I'm still going Tua. Still going Tua.
Should be good either way. Man, I can't believe it. I think if it's me, I'm gonna go with Stroud until further notice. Swift, Etienne, Jacobs, and Achan. Whoa.
Well, Etienne, I think, is a must still. I think in this case, I'm going Jacobs. We know he's going to get the touches. It's not a terrible matchup. I'm going Etienne and Jacobs.
Yeah, you have 4 really strong running backs.
Yeah.
I think I have to start Jacobs, just the volume he's getting, and then Etienne, yeah. But now I see the wide receivers. So McLaurin, Rashee Rice, Evans, Waddle, Noah Brown, and Lockett.
Well, Waddle. I think it's Waddle and Evans. Waddle and Evans.
Waddle, Evans, and then don't know if you start 3 receivers, you need a flex. So your third choice here would be who if you need somebody else.
If you need a flex, I'm probably going Achan. Just for the crazy, ridiculous potential upside. If you want to go safer, maybe Terry. I don't know how safe Terry is. Or Swift. Well, it's not a great matchup for Swift this week, but if it's me, I'm going Achan in the flex.
Yeah, and normally Swift would be a really strong start, but this week I actually think in this group I would put him last. And then if you do need a third receiver, I think I would put Terry. I like Terry this week. But we'll see. All right, and the return of Bear Camp Cabin Rentals.
What's up?
Favorite camp cabin rental viewer. All right. I have a chance to take Kyler Murray from the waiver wire. Would have to give up Trevor Lawrence for him. Yes. Right.
I mean, are you really giving up Trevor Lawrence? Like, this is, I hate doing this, but yeah, get Kyler Murray, give up Trevor Lawrence. No problem.
And I could be wrong. I felt like I remember with Bear Camp that it's a 2 QB or a super flex league, but he can only have like a 3 QB limit or something. Do you remember that?
Yeah. So, I mean, okay, that does make it a little harder to give up Garrett or Trevor Lawrence. I will give you that. But I still want Kyler Murray over Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah. You look at you. I mean, you got Burrow, Howell, and Murray living large. Yeah, I'm dropping Trevor Lawrence at this point for Kyler Murray. Yeah, that's why he said he would have to give up Trevor Lawrence. I think I remember this, that there's like a 3 QB limit for some reason.
Yeah, I get it now. And I would play Burrow and Howell if it was me.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's tough. Yeah, you still have to start Burrow. I mean, you can start any of those guys and be good. But yeah, Burrow and Howell probably. All right. And then we got Geraldo Rodriguez Jr. So CeeDee Lamb is the number 1. So we need a 2 and a flex. Got Jalen Waddle, Tank Dell, Hollywood, Zay, and JSN. 7-2. It's pretty good.
I'm still rolling with Waddle. And then I think out of these guys, I think this week I will roll with Tank Dell in the flex. At home against the Cardinals, he should be good. So I'm going Waddle and Dell.
Yeah, I think you want to get Waddle in there. Yeah, it's Tank Dell here. Hollywood, maybe, but, like you said, Texans, really, they've been giving up a lot to quarterbacks, which is kind of odd, but they don't give up a ton to receivers specifically. So they give up a lot of underneath stuff. Anyways, yeah, go Waddle and Tank here. All right, let's burn through some of these regular chats here. I think we can knock some of these out. These are actually truly, I promise, lightning round worthy questions.
All right.
Nico Bolas, 99. Murray or Burrow?
I'm going Burrow.
Yeah, got to stick with Burrow. Justin smiling. Would you trade Mixon for Mike Evans?
Definitely.
Yeah, take Evans. And then Malik Wilson, Dobbs or Lamar?
I'm going Lamar still.
Yeah, still until further notice, go Lamar. And then what about Ricardo Gutierrez? Crazy for wanting to start Kyler over Josh Allen.
I'm going Allen. I'm doing it. I'm going Allen.
It's definitely not crazy at all. You know, I might start Kyler Murray this week. That's me. But that's your call here. Go with your gut. Because who knows? Who knows? I mean, you figure it's got to go one way or the other with Josh Allen, right? Either they're just like, all right, now we're going full, to the wall, just going to chuck it and play like we did, or it's going to be just more of the same and just more turnovers, and it's going to be what it has been. So I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, even with last week was bad, but Josh Allen has been a monster this year, even with the bad offense or whatever. So I'm still going Josh Allen.
All right, and then not a question, but what do you think of the Wizard of Odds? Feels that they're in favor of Tony Pollard, RB1 overall. Get behind
Well,
that.
that would be crazy if that happens. I mean, what do we think about Tony Pollard going forward? Are we back in on Tony Pollard, or are we just like, okay, it was the Panthers? That would definitely be a talking point for sure next week.
Yeah, I would think that he played the Panthers, but we'll see. We'll see. All right. What about Tab? Have Hawk and Kincaid looking to trade one. All right. Would you trade Hawk for Kyler because it's a 2 QB league?
Yes, in a 2 QB league, definitely would do that. Yes.
Yeah, and you need help at QB. It's a huge difference. When you agree, it's probably the biggest difference in different formats and settings and rules is one QB to super flex, just how much more valuable, or 2 QB especially, how much more valuable that position becomes.
Yep.
Yeah. Hawk for Kyler, do it. Get Kyler. And then we have Garrett Tremaine, rest of the season. Got Burrow, Monty, Bijan, Chase, Hollywood, Kelsey, and the flex is Kirk, bench, Kyler, McBride, Rashad, London. Is this a league-winning team?
I mean, it certainly could be. It's certainly competitive. I mean, if Hollywood comes around here with Kyler, if Arthur Smith gives Bijan the ball again, it certainly could be. Yeah, definitely.
I think this might come down to Bijan. Is he going to be an RB1? Is he going to do what he should have been doing all along? I think that's what it comes down to. So could this be? Yeah, it could be. You got really good players at every position. I mean, you got Kelsey, you got Chase, Burrow. It's a really good team. This week, Burrow or Kyler, again, stick with Burrow, right?
Yeah, I'm going Burrow. Probably going Burrow every week, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, look, we have him as a must start. Like, if you have Burrow, you're starting him. Not there yet with Kyler. All right, 95 wants to know, pick 2 receivers in the flex. Puka, Cooper, Adams, Garrett Wilson, McLaurin, Ford.
Adams, Garrett Wilson, and Terry in the flex for me.
Can't be Cooper.
No.
Sadly. I like Terry this week. I still want to start Adams. I'm going those 3 right there in the middle. Adams, Garrett Wilson, McLaurin.
Yep.
Ayush. One more. Is Rico a good pickup?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, don't expect him to have a game like he had last week again. But look, if Pollard goes down, Dowdle is the guy. I mean, who's behind him? Deuce Vaughn? Come on. Dowdle is the guy.
Yeah, let me say I wasn't going to put him on the waiver wire video because I don't feel like he's a strong pickup, not strong enough to say, yeah, you can start him or play him, but he will be on another video that you'll see in just a couple days. Country Connected, Brian Robinson or Deontay Johnson?
I mean, if it's non-PPR or even half PPR, I go Brian Robinson. Full PPR gets close.
I mean, you're a Steelers fan, so if you're actually a true Steelers fan, then you don't even ask this. You go Deontay.
True.
But If you're a smart fantasy player, you don't let those biases get in your way, and you look at the best.
That's true.
Okay.
Yeah, standard half PPR, definitely Brian Robinson. Full PPR, I might still go Brian Robinson, but I don't want to get like too suckered into last week.
I think I'm going to lean Brian Robinson anyways, just because of the matchups, because it's such a good matchup for Robinson with the Giants, but it also is a really tough matchup for Deontay against the Browns. I mean,
true.
That's what sways me here.
Here's my worry with Brian. Like, how is Brian Robinson the running back 6? He's only had more than 10 carries one time since week 5. What? And and prior to last week, he'd only caught more than 2 passes one time all year. How is he? How bad are running backs this year? Like, if you would have asked me, if you said, "Don't look, where is Brian Robinson in RBs?" I would have said like 17. He's RB 17. That would have been my guess. He's RB 6. So this is my worry with Brian Robinson is like they just don't run the ball. Like, former running back Eric Bieniemy is at some point said, you know what? When I'm an offensive coordinator, we are just going to throw the football. I know I was a running back, but we are just like, that's it. In KC, that's all they did. Washington, that's all they're doing. So I always worry with Brian Robinson that he has like one of those 8-carry, 1-catch games, and if he doesn't score, you're like, oh boy, he just killed me. But it is the Giants. So yeah, probably got to go Brian Robinson.
Yeah, this offense is looking just the way it's run, not comparing Sam Howell to Pat Mahomes, but just the way it operates in the play calling, it's very similar to the way he was doing things in Kansas City. But anyways, I'm going Brian Robinson still. Jay Hughes. So I asked for emergency receiver options last week, and we gave Noah Brown. All right, there it is. Just giving the high five back. Appreciate that. Yeah, he was a good option, I think. I mean,
I had to start him as an emergency wide receiver. I was like, oh, that was pretty nice. That was pretty nice.
Well, what if I really, it's going to pat myself on the back for something. I did talk about Noah Brown first on the waiver wire video last week because I was like, okay, Tank Dell, yeah, you know about him, but what about Noah Brown? Because he had a big game and you might want to overlook it, but he had been involved. I think that was a move where I did not see him doing that again, but I don't think a lot of people were on Noah Brown before this past week. So anyways, good on you for starting him and for asking the right question. This one's easy. Cornish Crypto, good evening. Has the Muth. When is he coming back?
It sounds like this week. He sounds pretty optimistic, so I think we see him this week.
Yeah, I think, not that it's officially official because nothing is yet, but I think it's all but said and done that he is playing this week. It sounds like he's on track to play this week and everything that's been said is positive. So should be this week. Country connected with another. Henry, Connor, Amari, or Deontay, which again, if you really were a Steelers fan, just kidding.
Man.
Probably not Amari.
No, I can eliminate him. These guys all feel very close to me.
I actually think it might be Deontay.
If it's Connor, full PPR, maybe. Again,
Connor, if it's maybe a little safer.
Yeah, if it's half or standard, I might go Connor. Maybe even, I don't know. Oh, running backs. Why are you so bad this year? Why are you so bad? Yeah, maybe. Look, you're a Steelers fan. If it's PPR, go Deontay.
Yeah, I think Connor's a little bit more of a floor play if you want to play it safe. But if you want to take maybe a higher ceiling and root for your guy, go Deontay. All right, so we got one from Troy Helms up here. Great show. Thank you. Appreciate that. 2 QB, 10 team PPR, 9-1. All right, so this is a spicy trade. Purdy, Ayuk, and Ridley for Lamar and Addison. His other receivers are CD Allen, Olave, Amon-Ra. Okay. Yeah, they have a bye. I'm not worried about buys. And his other QB is Howell, though.
Yeah, I don't make this deal. Like, I'm all for getting Lamar if you need a QB, but Howell's been good enough. And I know Ayuk hasn't been great the last few weeks, but I still prefer Ayuk to Addison. I mean, he was okay last week, right? He wasn't bad. He was okay. Like, what has Addison really done? And now Jefferson, maybe even if he doesn't come back this week, probably the next week. It's going to be hard for Josh Dobbs, for as great as he's been, to support Addison, Hawkinson, and Justin Jefferson. Yeah, I think I would just keep Ayuk. Like, Ridley, whatever. Purdy for Lamar, I'm okay with that, but I don't like the Ayuk for Addison, and Hal's been good enough, so I think I would just stand pat myself.
Well, you know what? You don't say who else. Okay. You know what? I can't remember if I said this or not. Now I see it says 2 QB. So, sorry.
Never mind.
I don't know if I said, I thought I read it all. Okay, so this means that his 2 QBs are Howell and Purdy.
Well, then maybe now I do this to get Lamar. Now I change my answer. Because in 2 QB, Lamar, that matters.
Yeah.
And you got CD, Keenan Allen, Olave, Amon-Ra. I mean, are you even starting Ayuk ever? Maybe bye weeks? Which, by the way, I think after Olave this week, all those wide receivers have had the bye, right? Yeah, they've all had their bye. So are you ever going to start Ayuk over any? No. Yeah, get Lamar. Go get Lamar, actually. 2 QB, go get Lamar.
Yeah, if Purdy is your starting second QB, then this is a big upgrade. This is just what I was talking about earlier, right? The big jump in QB value from 1 QB to 2 QB league. So, yeah, sorry if I missed that. I thought I saw it all. But, yeah, if it's a 2 QB league to get Lamar, yeah, do it. All right, and then let's get to another Jay Hughes question. So I lose Fields, can't trade for a top QB, and ask if Dak can carry it. And you said yes, high five. All right, 2 high fives. That makes it 10.
Dak can just carry it the rest of the season. Don't even worry about trying to get a top QB. You got one already. You already have one.
Yep, exactly. That's exactly right. All right, Phil. Lock it for Connor.
Fair. Very fair. What do you need? You need running back help? Get Connor. Very fair. Very fair.
Yeah, it's pretty even. I mean, yeah, if you need a running back, I'd probably say Connor. Anthony, Kincaid or Andrews this week? Anthony S.
I still got to go Andrews. If Mark Andrews is on the field, he's in my lineup. I'm going Andrews.
Yep. Going Andrews. Pretty much no questions asked. Juice 420. All right. I'm stepping back here. This is your kicker question.
All right, believe it or not, I actually know these kickers. I mean, I know Aubrey because I had him a lot this year. He's the Dallas kicker. And I actually know who Amendola is because I needed a kicker this week because last week I had the Eagles kicker and I dropped him and I picked up, I think, the Saints kicker and he was awful. And now he's on a bye. So now I got to pick up another kicker. And for some reason, this Amendola guy was like projected for like 10 fantasy points. I'm like, why is he projected for 10 fantasy points? Who is this guy? So I looked him up. He's actually the Houston kicker who replaced the other kicker that they had who actually got hurt. So I actually know who he is. But I have no idea. I think you got to start the Dallas kicker, right? Isn't the Dallas kicker just a set and forget kicker? Isn't he just one of those guys you just set and forget? Like a Justin Tucker type?
Yeah. Sorry, I was going to put up this. Isaac knows his kickers. Yeah, Aubrey has not missed any field. You have to play Aubrey. It's Aubrey. That's the Dallas kicker.
Yeah, you got to just right. I thought he was just one of those guys.
Yep, he's the next Justin Tucker ? Paul Garza flex Thielen, Rice, or Henderson?
In this case, I'll go Thielen. I can't be this low on Thielen. I mean, I do like Rashee Rice. I think he could be interesting this week, but I mean, what's the upside here? And Henderson, give me Thielen. Give me Thielen here.
Yeah, I don't love Thielen at all this week, but in this matchup, I'll go Thielen. All right, this one also just for you. Mark Evans. So which Texans player do you not like this week so he knows who to play?
Yeah, I was wrong on Stroud last week, no doubt about it. Well, I like them all. Robert Woods. Robert Woods is the one Texan player I don't like, so you can start Robert Woods in all your leagues.
And that's so funny because it was predicted. This comment, of course, came in the past about 15 minutes ago, and Mr. TD called it Robert Woods.
Yep, Robert Woods.
All right,
Robert
there you
Woods.
go.
He's the one
Fire.
guy I'm like, yeah, I'm not starting Robert Woods.
All right, Arvin. What's up, Arvin?
Ooh.
Rest of season, you going Lamar or Justin Herbert? No. That's not as easy as it sounds.
Very close. I guess Herbert. But all it's going to take is for one big Lamar game, and then maybe it's like Lamar again, but probably Herbert.
It's interesting because I would have said, early on, I thought it would be Lamar. Herbert got off to such a hot start. Then Mike Williams out. Now Josh Palmer out. But Herbert's still putting up pretty good numbers. I mean, I know against the Jets he didn't, but it's the Jets. So Herbert has been more consistent. And he's throwing it a lot because their defense somehow still isn't good. So Lamar, I really thought he'd be smashing at this point. But one thing we noticed with this new offense is, they're passing it more, and that's it. They're passing it more, which means he's not running as much. There's fewer design runs being called for Lamar Jackson, and that's not good. I mean, this is good for his health, and it's good for them in reality, but it's not good for us in fantasy. So I feel like it's got to be Herbert at this point. Lamar's just been too inconsistent, not running as much as we'd like him to be. All right, let us address the Terminator because he's back. What's up? Should I flex Brian Robinson, Brandon Ayuk, DJ Moore, or maybe Jared Goff? Is it a super flex league?
I mean, if it's a super flex, I'm flexing Jared Goff, no questions asked. At home against the Bears, give me Jared Goff. For sure. Over all these guys.
Yeah, so Terminator, you can put another comment in here and let us know if this is a super flex league. If so, have you not been flexing the quarterback all year? Because you should probably be flexing a quarterback if you can. But
yeah, especially when it's Jared Goff. It's one thing if it's like, hey guys, I'm either gonna flex Kenny Pickett or these guys. Okay, maybe I'll play one of these guys over Kenny Pickett. But Jared Goff, nah, he's in.
Right. All right. So definitely curious on that now. Also curious, is there a better cinematic experience that you have experienced than Shrek 2 on DVD? I don't know. But let's get to this question. Start one PPR. Hunt Spears, Rashawn, Sharp, or Gainwell. Buys do hurt.
Probably got to go Hunt. He gets goal line work. He gets some work. They might try to run the ball more. I think it's got to be Hunt out of these guys.
Yeah, he's the only one I really even want to consider starting. At least he can get you a touchdown, do something. Hunt it is. And then Mello. Standard League, 12 teams. Kyler or Purdy?
This is a good spot for Purdy too, at home against the Bucks.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, man. Man. I don't know. I'm pretty sure you're going to say Kyler.
Yep.
This is actually really close for me. I mean, Kyler, I guess, runs a little bit, so all right, fine. I'll make it. I'll go Kyler, but this one's close for me.
Yeah, Purdy is in a good spot. I just like the upside of Kyler. All right, now this is, keep in mind, a standard league. So would you flex Ford, Chandler, or Tank? And he's saying we actually need 2 of those.
Well, definitely Tank over those guys. Chandler is certainly interesting if Madison is out. He gets the Broncos.
Yep.
I think if Madison is out, I'm going Chandler. If Madison plays, I'll go Ford.
Yeah, I think even in standard, you got to like Tank. Yeah, because it's the Broncos, I agree. I'll take a chance on Chandler, assuming Madison doesn't play.
Yeah.
Now, if Madison plays, then forget it.
Yeah.
All right, what about this trade? Hard to say, but C. Burr, would you trade McBride and Pollard for JT?
Yes, definitely. I don't know who your other tight end is, but I'm going to assume it's not like, I don't know, Tanner Hudson or somebody like that. Assuming you have even a halfway decent tight end. Give me JT. Give me JT.
Like, even if you have to stream tight end, it's fine.
Right.
Do this to get JT. Yeah, that's a good move. That's a good example of selling high on a guy like McBride. Not that he won't be good the rest of the season. He absolutely might. But to get JT, yeah, I think it's still worth it.
Right.
All right, so speaking of, Xavier wants to know, Xavier DeSalvo, where is that buy low video?
Tomorrow, Xavier. It's coming out tomorrow. It's filmed. It'll be out tomorrow.
Yeah, just switching up the schedule a little bit. Everything else is still on schedule. You should see all the start sit videos out by now, so it's coming. Don't worry. Jedi Koff was offered Kenneth Walker and Aaron Jones for Josh Jacobs. 2 for 1. You taking those 2?
I mean, you have Etienne, Achane, and Mostert, so now you're going to have Etienne, Achane, Mostert, Kenneth Walker, Aaron Jones. Like, what's the point? You know what I mean? Like, nah, I probably just keep Jacobs.
Yeah, I think this not only does it not necessarily upgrade your running back position, it just gives you a headache because now you're going to have to worry, who do I start between those guys? So I don't think this really helps you. I know you think, oh, 2 for 1, but if you don't even need to start all those guys, then
yeah,
what's the point?
What is it really doing for you?
Jim K traded Cooper and Pickens for Swift. You okay with that?
Yeah, that's great. Good time to trade Pickens. Great time to trade Cooper. That's fantastic.
Yeah. This might have seemed like too much a couple of weeks ago. In fact, I know it would have seemed like too much. Now it seems like a good deal for you to get Swift.
Yep.
And just having, like you said, that running back position, just having a dependable running back with upside every week is just so important. All right. We've got an appearance from our boy Stinger. What's up, Stinger?
What's up, Stinger?
Been too long. All right. So now that Kincaid is in the must starts and Laporta's been there, who you like better this week?
I think I got to give Laporta the edge against the Bears at home. I know the Jets have been not great against tight ends, but they're still the Jets. Lions at home against the Bears. I'm going to give Laporta the edge.
Yeah, I'm giving Laporta the edge. But before we go off of this, just want to ask we kind of talked about this with Kincaid, the switch to offensive coordinator, and, just things going south. Are you worried at all? They're trying to mix it up, like, oh, maybe we're throwing too much to the tight end.
Nah, I mean, I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
Okay. I don't think so either. I just wanted to ask. Okay. Yeah, because who else are they going to throw to?
Exactly.
All right, let's do this one. Tactical 6 string. Thoughts on the playoff outlook? This is a non-PPR league. Doesn't get to do many trades. That's unfortunate. So he's got Fields and Stroud, Olave, Hill, Collins, Douglas, Kyron Williams, Mixon, Chandler, Warren, Moss. Still rostering Ronnie Rivers, Mark Andrews, and Dallas defense.
I don't know why that's making me laugh so much.
You did not expect to hear the name Ronnie Rivers in Week 11, did you?
Okay. Anyways.
All right. Well, I mean, obviously you want Kyron Williams to come back pretty soon, but you can start Warren, I guess, for this week. Well, yeah. Okay. What else?
Yeah, look, I mean, you got it's Kyron Williams. Yeah, he's not. But you got Mixon, you got Warren. Chandler may be a great start, especially in non-PPR if Madison is out against the Broncos. You could probably drop Moss. But I mean, look, if you're holding Ronnie Rivers, I guess you might as well hold Zach Moss too. Why not? Why is that? Why? I don't, tactical. I'm sorry. I don't know why I find that so funny. I don't know why it's making me laugh so much, but it really is. I don't know why.
It's unexpected. You did not expect Ronnie Rivers.
So I did not expect that, I guess. I mean, I like your wide, especially for standard scoring. I think these are the type of wide receivers you want. Like these kind of, I mean, like Tyreek Hill isn't boom bust. He just booms. Like Olave kind of boom bust. Nico kind of boom bust. That's what you want in standard scoring because, you know, what good is a wide receiver getting 6 catches for 60 yards in standard scoring? It's like, it's not doing anything for you. So I like that. But he needs 2 wide receivers. Well, you can't play Olave. Hopefully Nico plays because you can't play Douglas either. So let's hope Nico plays. So you're going Tyreek and Nico. You have no choice. Running back I'm going Mixon, Warren, and then I'm flexing Chandler.
Yeah, and I would definitely say because of your lack of depth at receiver, you might need one. Just drop Moss now and pick up a receiver.
Yeah. Yes.
A receiver with touchdown upside since it's standard. Yeah, I feel like for a standard league, you do want a better running back. I know your league doesn't trade much, but maybe somebody out there just, lost their quarterback if they had Deshaun Watson or just needs a quarterback upgrade or just loves CJ Stroud enough to trade for him. With Fields coming back, maybe just pull the trigger and say, I'll trade you Stroud and get a good running back. I think it's worth it anyways. All right, and then let's see, where are we at? Is it possible? I think it's possible. We're actually caught up with all the super chats. All right, so we're going to get to some more of the other questions here, which, by the way, guys, so we'll stay a little longer, but if you got any questions you definitely want shown up here and answered, super chat guarantees it. Otherwise, we're going to just kind of keep going with some of these questions, talk about some guys we haven't talked about yet, and try to put up some users that we haven't gotten to yet. All right, let's see. A good trade question here from Tommy Lore. Needs a running back. Would you trade Nico for Jaylen Warren?
Oh, it feels like a bit of an overpay. Maybe it's okay.
For the starting running back in Pittsburgh?
The workhorse starting bell cow running back in Pittsburgh. I don't know. Maybe it's okay. I get like if Nico is like your 4th or 5th wide receiver, which he may be, right? Because a lot of teams drafted Nico very late, if they even drafted him. So I guess it's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you should be able to get a little bit more than Warren, maybe a better running back. We'll see if that's the best you really can do. I mean, again, throw out some offers to other teams. Maybe not the best time because Nico's hurt and didn't play last week, but you probably could get something for him. So, yeah. All right, let's put up Calvin, not just because I love the comics, but he used the word conundrums, and I appreciate that. Having some conundrums this week in full PPR 12 team, Fields or Murray?
Murray. Definitely Murray. Let me see Fields first. Definitely Murray.
Yeah, definitely Murray here. And then flex, Chandler, Addison, or Sutton?
I mean, Sutton is probably the right choice against the Vikings. In PPR, yeah, probably Sutton. Probably Sutton.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Sutton here too. I think whether JJ plays or doesn't play, you still got to worry about Addison's true upside. I think Sutton's just probably the best choice here. All right, going in from Jimbo Threats.
All right.
Which side? 12 team PPR Dino. All right, Henry and Olave or CD.
CD. Because look, in Dynasty, this is basically Olave for CD. Like, look, it's already looking pretty bleak for Derrick Henry this year right now. What are we like? Are we really feeling good about Derrick Henry, age 30 next year? Maybe not even a Titan. Who knows where he's at next year? Who knows the situation? It really feels like this is it for Henry. Like we're seeing the end. We're seeing the end of an era. Like I'm sure he'll still have some games next year where he scores a touchdown, but so this is basically Olave for CD. You have to. CD has to be a top 3 dynasty wide receiver, 5. I don't know. There's a lot of good young wide receivers right now, but he's got to be at least a top 5 dynasty wide receiver. As much as I like Olave, he's not top 5. So give me CD, definitely.
Yeah, you know what's funny is you think, well, Olave. I mean, look, he's young and he's a really good receiver too. Yeah, he is. But you'd think, even though CD's been in the league longer, there really isn't a big age difference here. It's like 1 year, so you're not getting so much younger receiver. No, it's yeah. I think you got to take the CD side. I mean, only if you're. Well, even if you are like a win now contender and you need a running back, is Henry really doing it for you? I don't know. I hope so because I have Henry in a couple dynasty leagues, but I think you got to take the CD side here.
Yeah.
Which does that mean? In your opinion, is this time to buy low on Tyjae Spears in dynasty, or are you just thinking they're going to go somebody else next year?
I mean, it's got to be really low. It's certainly worth the gamble. It's certainly worth the gamble, but it's got to be pretty low because he wouldn't be the first, running back to get replaced. First young running back to get replaced. But I mean, look, they drafted him fairly highly. It's not like he was a 5th rounder or a 6th rounder or something like that. So, yeah, he's worth a decent buy low.
Agree. Again, low. You buy low.
Yes.
Alberto Mar, full PPR start, Warren or Singletary?
Oh, the workhorse starting running back in Pittsburgh or the workhorse starting running back in Houston, who's playing the Cardinals, not the Browns. I think I got to go Singletary over Warren this week. He's getting the Cardinals. Warren, they're playing the Browns. Like, that's probably going to be one of the ugliest games of the week, right? The Steelers, it might be first team to 10 wins. First team to 10 wins. I think I got to go Singletary.
Yeah, exactly. Just because that game, like you said, could be very low scoring. Go Singletary, and then should I start Kupp over Boyd? Absolutely yes.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Luis, welcome back. Luis Ortiz. All right, so would you spend the number 1 waiver priority on Warren? He's already got Etienne, JT, Etienne, Gibbs, Hall, and Bijan.
What are you're afraid of your running backs? If you want, I have some leagues. I'll trade you my running backs for your running backs if you want. You got JT, Etienne, Gibbs, Hall, Bijan, and you're afraid of your running backs? What?
Because they're scary good?
Yeah, exactly.
And
I think most people are jealous of your they're jealous of your running backs.
I don't even know how you got all those running backs in the standard league. That's crazy. JT and Etienne every week and forget it, and then Bijan and Gibbs and Hall. Yeah. No, don't spend your claim on Warren. You don't even need Warren. Man, that's crazy. All right, what about James? In full PPR, we need to start one. Nico, Kirk, or Rice?
Ooh, Nico and Kirk are very close, but I think I got to just roll with Kirk. I think I got to keep rolling with Kirk. He's been so good. matchup doesn't scare me at all. In fact, the matchup is fantastic. I like Nico a lot too because at home against Arizona. But I mean, Kirk's just been so good. I think I'm still rolling with Kirk.
Yeah, Kirk, you just set and forget. I mean, and it is a great spot for him. Like you say, well, Nico, and it's a good spot. It is. But we don't know for sure if he's 100%. And Kirk, I just can't bench Kirk. 369 Rye is intrigued. Tempted to start Kyler over Lamar. Nah,
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Like maybe it'll be another bad Lamar game, and people will be like, "See, you should have started Kyler. Should have started this guy." But I'm still rolling with Lamar.
Yeah, I mean, look, I could definitely see a possible outcome where Kyler Murray has a better game, but again, you just can't bench Lamar. I don't know, can't do it. What about this? Justin Canizaro. You need to start 2 this week in PPR. Gus, Singletary, Chandler.
I think Singletary is sadly the one I feel the best about. And then I'll say if Madison is out, I'm going Chandler. If Madison plays, I guess Gus. I might even still go Chandler, honestly. It's not a great matchup for Gus this week. He's just not doing a lot outside of touchdowns. Chandler gets the Broncos. Look, even Latavius Murray looked fairly good against the Broncos. Yeah. I might just go Singletary and Chandler no matter what.
Yeah, exactly. In PPR, yeah, Gus is still touchdown or not much. I mean, I know he's scoring touchdowns. He can continue to score touchdowns, but I think take the upside here, Singletary and Chandler. So there you go. William McDonough. Gibbs, Monty, or Hall? Man, can only pick one.
I think I'm going Gibbs. I mean, it's another good matchup for Hall, but he just feels like it's either he has to rip off a long touchdown or you're just not getting a lot from him. It feels like. The reason I like Gibbs so much, and I talk about him on the Booms tomorrow, is the Bears give up the 4th most receptions to running backs. They've given up 6 or more receptions to running backs in half their games. They've given up 4 or more receptions in every single game this year. Every game, 4 or more receptions. I think Gibbs could catch 4 or 5, maybe even 6 passes in this game. I just think he has the most upside. I'm going Gibbs.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be one of the Lions here. I mean, it's so hard. It looks like it's a split 50-50. Maybe the production's 50-50. I mean, who knows? But I do feel like you're right. This matchup might favor Gibbs. So it's a toss-up between those two. Let me go back to this one. I just realized this one's an interesting one. Keith Murphy offered Etienne, Diggs, and Pittman for AJB and Eckler.
I mean, if someone gives it, well, man, I mean,
I know. It's a huge one.
I think it's good for you, though. I mean, I still prefer Eckler to Etienne, and I prefer AJ Brown to Diggs. It's close. This is a big boy trade right here, no doubt about it. I mean, yeah. I probably slightly prefer the AJ Brown Eckler side, but it's very, very slight.
Yeah, I feel like the opportunity to get those two. I mean, basically the number 2 running back and receiver in fantasy, right behind CMC and Tyreek Hill, but barely. Etienne is an RB1, but I prefer Eckler. Diggs is a wide receiver 1, but I slightly prefer AJ Brown. This is a pretty even trade value-wise. This is interesting. I would slightly prefer the Brown Eckler side too, though. It's probably going to help both teams out. All right, Jay Hughes got a question. PPR, 1 tight end, 1 flex. Puka, Cook, Laporta, Kincaid. Flexing a tight end here? Or go Puka?
Yeah, I might go Laporta and Puka. Laporta and Puka.
Yeah, I think Laporta's the tight end. Kincaid is not in the smash spot he was last week. And even in the smash spot, he was good, but not amazing. Yeah, I guess they'll go Puka. You feeling where's Puka for you this week? He's kind of just like a risky flex, or he's more like kind of a decent wide receiver 3 or what?
Yeah, I guess more like a decent wide receiver 3.
As long as Stafford plays and he's supposedly healthy, I mean, I guess he's still.
Yeah.
All right, let's do a couple more here. We got Shake Junty. I don't know. Would you trade Dell for Jerome Ford?
I feel like you can get more for Dell right now. I mean, if you really need running back help and you're really deep at wide receiver, I don't think it's horrible, but I think you can get more for Dell right now.
Yeah, I think it's okay. It's not a bad trade.
Right.
I think, again, I have to admit now, the more I think about it, and I could be wrong here, but I'm a little more down on Jerome Ford, knowing that they're going to start a rookie quarterback at least this week and maybe PJ Walker rest of the season. I can't feel as confident about the offense as a whole. So, yeah, just because of that, I would prefer a better running back, like you said. And then we have Shoestrangs, PPR, RB. I'm assuming that's how you say it. RB, Hunt, Robinson, or Mitchell. Who do you bench?
I'm benching Hunt. Like, he needs a touchdown to give you even anything. I mean, look at. I mean, what are his game logs here? Let's take a look. He's gone 9 points with a touchdown, 9 points with a touchdown. Then he had some random 13-point game with a touchdown, a 15-point game with two touchdowns. This is PPR, by the way. 15 points with 2 touchdowns. That is hard to do. That means you got 3 points outside of your touchdowns. It's like you even just to be like, okay, he didn't kill me. He has to score. Keaton Mitchell can do that on one play. I'll go Robinson and Mitchell. Maybe Mitchell even gets more touches this week. I mean, not more touches than he got last week. I'm going Robinson and Mitchell. Not playing Hunt.
Well, I'll say Robinson definitely out of this group. I'm going to start. Yeah. I think before today I might have said Hunt, touchdown upside and just go with what you can get. But now, again, worried about the offense enough, I'll just go Mitchell and hope he hits a home run. I think for both these guys, you're kind of just hoping for a touchdown, but now I feel like Mitchell has a much better chance to get one. So bench would be Hunt. Yeah. Then Triggered Trey sliding in here with one more. Lamar Tua.
Okay, here if you're worried about Lamar, I can go with Tua. I like Tua a lot this week. I think Tua's going to have a huge game.
Yeah, normally I would just go Lamar this week. I don't know, because Lamar is in a tough matchup. Thursday night's never too exciting. I'd probably still go Lamar just because, again, they're going against Burrow. This could become a high-scoring game, but it's really close. And then pick 2 out of K9, Brees, and Javonte.
I think I have to sit Javonte. Who does Seattle play again?
Rams.
It's not like horrible. It's not great. It's not horrible. I probably got to go Brees and Walker this week.
Yeah, I feel like both Walker and Brees are your hope for the home run plays, and Javonte's like solid, but not exciting. I like excitement. I'll go K9 and Brees. And then Garrett Wilson, Marquise, or Cooper.
Just definitely one? Garrett Wilson. Would have been Cooper, before this morning, but now it's Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if it's just one, then it's Garrett Wilson. That one's pretty easy. And then Mike GP. Here it is. Would you trade away Warren and JSN for Kyron and Chuba? Looks like this is mainly depth because you got Bijan, Kamara, and Pollard. Other receivers are Puka, Deontay, Garrett Wilson, and Ridley.
I mean,
none of these
you
are
got to
starters.
prefer Kyron Williams to Jalen Warren. Kyron Williams truly is the starting running back, workhorse running back that's going to actually get all the touches.
Right.
But Chuba, I mean, whatever that is. And I do still have, hope for JSN, but I think because you're getting Kyron Williams, sure, get Kyron Williams. It's not like you need Warren. You don't need Warren.
Yeah. None of these guys really are starters for you anyways, right? You're not losing a starting receiver. Just take the best player in the deal as Kyron. Yeah, I would do this. Warren and take Kyron Williams. And then let's see. This is Brendan R. 12 team, full PPR, Sutton or Hopkins for Najee.
I think either one of those guys for Najee is fine. If you need a running back, it's fine.
Well, got Javonte, Monty, Hunt, Keaton, Mitchell. Yeah, don't have the best depth.
Yeah, I don't know if Najee makes his running back room better, but it gives you some depth. You got Kupp, Lamb. I mean, I don't know. You're strong at top at wide receiver. I don't know. I don't think this trade really helps your team, honestly.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, you're probably starting Monty and I guess Javonte Williams every week. Is Najee ahead of either of those two? Probably slides in as your RB3.
Right.
Yeah, what you might want to do is trade Hopkins and like Hunt to get a better wide receiver.
Yes.
That's what I would do. All right. And then let's do AJB. Trade Kincaid and Thielen for Lockett and Logan Thomas.
I don't think so. I don't know. I mean, maybe I prefer Lockett to Adam Thielen, but maybe I don't. I don't know. It feels pretty close. But I definitely prefer Kincaid to Logan Thomas. I don't want to take that big tight end downgrade. If I'm not getting an upgrade somewhere else, I don't think Lockett is giving you a massive upgrade at wide receiver over Thielen. So I just keep Kincaid and Thielen. I'm totally fine trading Thielen, and maybe Kincaid, maybe you already have a better tight end, right? Maybe you grab Kincaid when like somebody was on bye. But I think you can do more. I think you can get more back than Lockett and Logan Thomas. And I guess if you're getting Logan Thomas back, maybe you don't have another tight end.
Yeah, I don't think this really helps. Like I said, exactly what you said. I'm fine trading Thielen now, but Lockett, is that really upgrading? And then you're downgrading a tight end. So, you can do better for those two guys.
Yeah.
Forget I don't know. If Logan Thomas would be your starting tight ends, then no, I definitely don't do this. But, yeah. 369 asking, to your surprise, I'm sure, are you guys doing another rankings video again? He's wondering if we're going to do like we did before, the top 30, top whatever.
We might. We did do I think we did a top 10 rest of the season last year. It worked pretty well. And we did do, I think, the top 10 playoffs. Like top 10 playoff running backs, top 10 playoff wide receivers. So maybe.
Yeah, I'm not going to do an every week rankings thing because it's a pain. It's too hard. It's like trying to hit a moving target. How do you rank guys when they're in and out of the lineups and injuries and all that? But we could do one for playoffs, right?
Yeah, like running backs are the best playoff. I think we did that last year. I think we did one for running backs and wide receivers, like the best playoff schedules.
All right, now here's the critical question before we go. Are you going to make Taysom Hill a must start next week?
Well, let's see. He's coming off a terrible game and a bye week. That's a no.
We got Taysom last week. We knew it was going to happen. He was waiting for us to say you have to start him
I even played him. I even started him in like 2 leagues.
Oh, I did too. I'm ashamed almost to admit how many leagues I have Taysom Hill in right now. I can slot him in at tight end or quarterback if somebody gets hurt. I mean, it's priceless. All right, last one. I think you have to address this to help Shaka out. Would you trade Achane, Andrews, and Kyron for Chase, Kmet, and Goddard?
Oh, the very rare 2 tight end trade. 3 tight ends in this deal.
Yes.
Oh man, this is an interesting trade to try to figure out. So let's say Achane and Kyron for Chase. Yeah, I'd probably take Chase. Andrews for Kmet and Goddard. So I guess the plan here is you'll roll with Kmet, and then maybe when Goddard comes back, you'll play Goddard. You got Kamara, Hall, and Javonte. I mean, that seems okay, but if Hall doesn't come around and Kamara doesn't keep scoring 2-point conversions.
I mean, you feel like the overall value, is on the side of the first team, but to get Chase.
Yeah. But then I worry, like, am I okay with Kamara, Hall, and Javonte as my RBs? I mean, I'd probably gamble on Chase. And just hope Kamara stays good and that Hall rips off some long runs and Javonte keeps coming around. I do like Javonte the rest of the season. So I'd probably gamble on Chase.
I mean, I think you can do this. But again, what you're doing is you're gambling on Kamara and Hall as your starting running backs the rest of the season.
Right.
As opposed to Achane and Kyron or some mix of those guys. So
yeah.
It's really interesting, though. Really interesting. Goddard. I mean, I don't know. I would say it kind of depends on your wide receiver room, too. I mean, obviously, Chase becomes your number 1 receiver, but if this helps your receiver core, you can do this. I think, in a vacuum, I'd say I definitely prefer the first side, but you could do this if you feel like it helps. Yeah. That's very interesting. Okay. We already did this one. So let's put this to end with Calvin. Giving the shout out. Position to make a deep playoff run. Well, that's what we're trying to do. Make your decisions not just easier, but also hopefully better. So
right. Spring all gotta finish it.
Yeah. The job is not even half done. This is where the work starts because I mean, you've been working the waiver wire, of course, all season. You're still doing trades right now. Is the time to make those trades, of course. Get them in there. Don't wait and still be proactive. So still have to make smart sit decisions and smart waiver wire and trade decisions. So we'll be back again tomorrow, and we will help you guys out again with some more last-minute start-sit before the Thursday night game. So also, you got one more chance, about 24 hours, maybe a little bit less, to take advantage of the new customer special for Thursday night, which is Joe Burrow just getting 1 yard. If you haven't signed up for Underdog, it's a good time to do that because you also get that 100% deposit match up to $100. So just use promo code ENDGAME, download the app, and use that when you sign up. There's a link down below. You can just click and it takes you right there. This is a good time to do it since we're signing off. Take advantage of all that right now while supplies last. All right. Appreciate you guys. We'll see you tomorrow.